Oh, howdy and aloha. This is James with Monotalk. Tonight, I think I'm going to discuss something that I think is truly important to everyone. Something that's probably the most important piece of our culture, any culture, that people need to have. And it's just one little word, and the word is called trust. Trust. I think that's huge. Um, in the past few months, I think, hello everyone, hey Rebel Cage Rattler, someone, hi guys. I hope you trust that I got my internet fixed, which I did. I called the monopolized cable company, and I trusted them to fix the problem. And I come to find out that the Wi-Fi was set up for a smaller amount of data or something. It wasn't getting the full amount that I was supposed to be getting. And then when I told them, anyway, I fixed it. I don't know if that's a trust issue. I don't know what. Maybe the roommate wanted to have all the access, but that doesn't matter. We can all get the right access. They had to do some updates and stuff like that. So I trusted them when I installed the new modem that everything would be fine. Lo and behold, they broke my trust. So when I called them, I said, hey, what the fuck? Anyway, I'm a little scruffy. I will be shaving though later. But I just thought I'd get on and go over something I think is very important. So I was watching Jimmy Dore, H.A. Goodman, same progressive, We Are Change, Truth Media Stream. I mean, there's just so many out there that what you're seeing across the globe is social media has a lot of information that moves through Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and you name it, Twitch, just everywhere. And it is about trust because you have to trust your source. Do you trust? Let's go down a level. Let's pull back a few levels before we talk about the government. When it comes to relationships, I think that's probably one of the biggest things because if you're not set or good in your own house, in your own world, in your own village, with a relationship, let's just say it's between you and your partner, girl, boy, whatever, and trust gets broken or trust becomes a question mark. Can I trust that person? Can I give that person, all of me and that they won't break the trust and that they'll be loyal and truthful and honest. And it's important for any relationship. In business, at the next level, it's important that when you provide a product or service to somebody, there's trust that you're going to get the job done, that you're going to provide them with the product that you had advertised, that you have shown or demonstrated to them, that it's what you say that it's going to do. And then there's other levels, of course. But I think what's important right now is that the trust that we build, not just with our own relationships, and not just with, hey, flies, fly there? I think it's not fly. And snorks on. And, from whatever level, from whatever avenue or whatever it's coming at. Once you get that feeling of like, I don't know if you're kind of like, should I trust this person? Should I trust this group? Should I trust the system? Should I trust this product? Should I trust this service? Should I trust the media? Should I trust the independent media? Should I trust? Uh, it's exhausting. It really and truly is exhausting, especially nowadays. So when I trust somebody, it takes a while for most, not just for me, but for I think most everybody, is that when you put your faith into somebody, and I think that's the best thing you can do is believing in somebody that they'll be there for you and do the things that are necessary for the relationship to grow and cultivate. Anyway, it's huge. You've got to have that bond. And when it gets kind of moved around, or it gets shuffled, or it gets contorted, or maybe the question mark comes up on if you can trust these people, person, services, product, whatever, it doesn't sit well for anybody's psyche. Your cognitive thinking is telling you to 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 take it at face value, but then in the back of your mind it's saying, be cautious, but don't put all your eggs in one basket, etc., etc. Which I think is important. So in a relationship situation between us and the people that we get our information from, not just us, because we're throwing all kinds of stuff out there. I think it's important that we not put our eggs all in one basket. You shouldn't. I know it's hard to believe, but I've been in relationships in the past where I put everything I can into a person, and things have been not what I had believed, or I had faith in believing they were. And it hurts. Getting hurt sucks. On a different level, in business, it sucks too. You put your faith in your work or your boss or your company, and next thing you know, you believe that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Maybe you're doing very well what you're supposed to be doing, and you're just waiting for that reciprocation of trust that they're going to do what they say they're going to do. But then there's other factors that come into play, and that's what I think we all need to understand, is that there are other factors that can change our perspective on how much we trust that individual, that service, that product, that program, that group, that government, whatever. Things, and some of it's out of their control as well. Sometimes it seems like you just got to make sure that when you do throw your trust with and for and upon somebody, that you just must know that things could change. You have to know that in a moment's notice, things could turn on a dime, and be prepared for that. It's not bad to give all your trust and your faith and even love to somebody or something or a group, But things can change, and you have to be prepared. You have to have, leather skin, in my opinion. You have to be able to, at some point, be able to take and be prepared that anything could happen. That you might end up, being on the shitty end of the stick. Um, when it comes to the larger scale, and as I was listening to Jimmy Dore and he's exposing Fidel Castro, and that the CIA was planning to create and orchestrate a bomb or some types of explosions to make it look like Castro was the devil or the axis of evil. Back in the 60s, the CIA had been doing stuff like this. This is the JFK papers. On up through who knows what our country has done over time. When you're looking at stats, out of the 240 years we've been around, 220 of those years, we've been at war with 37 victimized countries, nations, across the globe, and we've killed over 20 million people. That's not a good stat. That doesn't create a lot of trust out there for how we're being perceived, how people look at us as a nation. And that's not against the people, the actual voting republic. That's about our leaders, our supposed leaders, or the people, our supposed public servants that claim they're doing things for us and our nation's interests. But you can say that about a small relationship as well. Are you doing it for our interests as a group, as a couple? Are you staging something or doing something that could be perceived as just not very trustworthy? But sometimes you have to, kind of roll with the punches, bob and weave, try to stay away from getting smacked as much as possible. But from what I'm seeing in regards to, my God, the history of our nation and what we've done. I mean, who the fuck believes 9/11 wasn't somewhat of an inside job? Who actually believes that? It's a huge question mark. I mean, everybody I've talked to that's done some type of. No, I haven't put up the Zoom link yet, guys, because I'm doing my spiel. Sorry. I usually do a spiel before I get on so I can get out what I'm getting and then kind of move on from there. But I'm going to put it up in just a second. I'm sorry. Give me just a little minute and then I'll finish my blasey blah. And then we'll get moving. Let the group come in. But trust is huge. And I want to be able to trust that person. I want to be able to trust that service. I want to be able to trust that product. I want to be able to trust that group of people or that society or that corporation or that party. So I think we'll be talking about that. I want to be able to trust that company. I want to feel like that they've got my back and I've got theirs. Because I am a loyal person. There's no doubt about that. I've been proven to be very loyal. And if you cross me, I'm telling you, I'll just write you off. It's that simple. I'm not gonna. You can ride on this boat. Right now, it's kind of a dinghy. It's kind of a little dinghy with a couple paddles. But it's a fun boat, and I think you'll have a good time on it. So let me post this up. I'm just saying we've got a lot of trust fixing to do in this country and repairing a lot of trust across the world. How the fuck are we going to do that? My God, I'm just thinking all these countries out there would just write us off in a heartbeat. I mean, how would you trust a company that's already bomb Hiroshima and Nagasaki with an atomic weapon. Invaded country after country, changing political regimes, stealing, abusing, raping, pillaging. God, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be a part of that craziness. And no, I'm not going to Canada, and I'm not fucking going to Mexico. I want to fix it. I want this country to be honored, to have integrity, to have ethics, to have morals. I want this country to be seen what it should be seen as. A beacon of fucking hope, right? A beacon of equality, a beacon of happiness, joy, love. We've got some shitheads in running this country for too long. We need to fully just clean house. Honestly, we just need to go, you know what? Get the fuck out. Get you, all you, get the fuck out of here. We just really need to do that. But as long as we keep voting for the two-party oligarchy, in my professional opinion, and most, the one party posing as two, Dumbocrats and the Repiglicans, it's going to be the same old shit. They're going to keep creating and orchestrating and manipulating these wars to feed the new economy, which is war. And it's got to stop. It's really got to stop. It's sad, but if we don't we barely have, right now we barely have the power. They've taken so much of our voting power away, and sadly, voting power and just the U.S. voting republic. I want you to understand what that title means. When this country was first started, that was we were the boss. We held the keys to all the doors. We were the ones that were the pointers, the directors. If you didn't do what we wanted, you weren't going to be a public servant. Things have changed. Now it's really sad. But there's only one other country out there that has two parties. And I love to say it. It's Malta. Malta. I don't even know. I want to know what their fucking national anthem is. I really want to see what Malta's. I would love to see their national anthem. Anyway, so this one.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Jimmy Dore Show. I'm here with the Miserable Liberal and Rob Placone. Hello.
I'm miserable.
All right.
So I'll just see if I can pull it over real quick. Ba-boom. JFK files exposed. CIA plot to bomb Miami. And I'm going to only say this a bunch of times. Oh. The CIA is not our friends. They're the bank's friends. They're the 1%'s friends. They're not our friends. They're a really heinous group of fucking people. And JFK said that he wanted to crush and get rid of the CIA. And then he died. Sadly, and then he died. So, and by the way, just so you're watching, I love my life. Kids are great. Everything's good. Got some great things happening in the future. I do not want to overdose. I do not want to drive off a cliff. And what's funny is Zune Politics, the political animal, Holly Zilliger, she fucking says every once in a while, just letting you know, I do not want to kill myself. I do not want to commit suicide, but you got to put that disclaimer out there. So that when they do come and get you, the Hillary Mafia, and all her fucking mafia croonies, she could have said. And then there's this woman. Oh, you gotta see this. I gotta show this. So this girl here, her name is. She's got a show, like a little pod. She's doing a live Kathleen Wells live video, and she talks. I've never really heard her, but I don't know if she's a Republican or a progressive or what. But she's saying right now that illegal aliens are taking all the black jobs. That's what she's saying. She's screaming it from the top of the mountain that illegal aliens are taking everybody's jobs. Hey, did that work, you guys? The links? I think I put it on there. Oh, shit. Did the show stop or something? Oh, I gotta stop turning it off like that. Sorry. Alright, so let me just see if I put that on there properly. Yep, that's it. Okay. Okay, everything's to be good. Let me just see what's going on. Anyway, she's buying this. I mean, this guy comes on and says, well, there are companies. Hola.
It's working.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. I would have been on earlier, but I got to watch my son play baseball for a little while, and then I take off.
That's always good.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, guys.
That's good. Amy. You might want to rename.
I'm doing it right now.
Hi. You're renaming me?
Yes. Amy.
Okay. Am I a 917 or a 212? Whatever. It doesn't matter.
917. But that's what I'm saying. Before you come on, you have the ability, Amy, to make sure you
No. I'm actually dealing with engineering litigation right now, which is really, really hard to learn. Dude, I have to read engineering emails and how they write stuff. And as a writer, that's really hard.
Sounds like a headache.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Among just regular life and stuff that you all deal with. I gave up news this week, but I did vote in New York. It didn't work well.
Did the results come back on your votes?
But I had an observation that was a little fucked up. Essentially everyone I voted for lost. Everyone in New York City I voted for lost, but there was one person who actually didn't win my particular district, who was listed twice on the ballot. Now there is a lot in the NYC ballot, and I don't know what ballots look like across the United States or in the city or whatever, but we have huge amounts of language. We have Chinese and Spanish and English on a ballot, and all of it is sort of it's blanket language. As a lawyer, you wouldn't even look at it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shit that if you didn't want to read it, it's impossible to read. Well, whatever. It's unimportant to what you're doing, and it's in the biggest fonts, the boldest fonts and everything. Anyway, the one thing that really bothered me about it, not only were the bubbles and whether the names were above or below the bubbles, was some people were on certain parties with slashes next to the names on the bottom and on the lines once, and some people were actually listed twice. for what they were being voted for on different parties and on the names twice. And I swear if you asked like a psychologist or some science person that you know, seeing something twice, people will tell you, I remember this from psychology a little bit, a class that I took. You know, you see something at the beginning of a sentence or you see something at the end of the sentence. You remember that part of the sentence. If somebody asks you, if you're a regular person, right? That's what you remember. But you see something twice, it's like advertising. The more you see it.
It's branding.
A person, the more you see it, the more you find them attractive. James, you're hot, by the way. You're so hot.
I am going to go off now.
No, it was kind of a joke.
Okay, good. I feel better. All right. Yeah.
Anyway, no, but that's that's the point. There's this it's this, what do you call it? Not a syndrome, but it's a philosophy. Oh, James, were you trying to make it easier for me?
A little bit.
A little bit to speak, right?
Yeah. Well, you're talking about something in your realm of the woods, and I'm hoping you're going to translate it into something all of us can understand.
No, it's I don't think it's my realm of the woods. I mean, I think it's just if you see something more than once, it's sort of like this is how advertising works, this is how psychology works, or how sentences work. The more you see something, the more you decide that you like it, or that's the thing you should choose.
I know what this is. I'm going to tell you what it is. I said it. It's called branding. It's branding. Branding is a process.
No, there's a name. There's a name for this. A psychological name for this.
There actually is a psychological name, but it's also used in marketing as branding when you keep bringing up the same icon, the same logo, or the same person
everywhere.
People start to become more comfortable with that person. And then
dude, there was a person on my ballot for my district city council that was on there twice, James.
For a different thing?
No. On the same fucking goddamn line. On the same fucking goddamn line. And nobody said anything. What? And I think that's completely inappropriate.
Well, not inappropriate. It could be illegal. Hey, Taylor, what's up, bro?
I don't even know. I honestly don't know. If I don't know, I have to look it up.
Were they?
No, well, that's the thing. Yeah. Below it was a different party, but there were some people. Sorry, am I very loud?
No.
Some people said that. No, some people were like this party / this party, and do that. Like, if your party wants to represent like so many people, you put the party at the bottom, and then the person. You don't put the party. You put the person. You can put the party on as many times as you want. How about that?
I think you should.
How about that? We put the party on. We flash the party.
It was just one party, one person. So you're saying that was
no.
You're saying in this ballot for this particular position
district in New York, yes.
Okay, there was a title. There was the title of the person. There was the person's name below it, a party, and then again the title, the person's name, and then a different party.
Yeah, sometimes you had a person with a / party, and sometimes you had a person with two bubbles. That's exactly correct. Yes, that's what I'm saying. This was before I had my coffee. I went to, this is before I went to work.
Before you had your
I had no coffee. And I didn't think it was right. Of course, nobody else says anything about this, but I thought there was actually something you said. I wanted to say something to James earlier, but I couldn't talk. I couldn't it reminded me of another part of my week. But I definitely wanted to share this portion because I actually think that this is a way of also just sort of swaying a vote.
Yeah.
And believe me, it didn't sway a vote in my district. It didn't sway a vote in my district because a guy won. The girl who had 2 bubbles didn't win. The guy won. I didn't vote for him either. I voted for the other woman.
So when it comes to the council members and the DAs and the judges and all this, in the smaller commutative type city county positions and all that, I used to never really give a shit about any of those people. I used to it was the federal, the bigger positions, or if it's, governor, mayor, or something like that. But do you pay attention to those? Because I do now. But have you always paid attention to the smaller positions?
Definitely no. I didn't. I think I was too I was too young, and but people always. I think people always told me, you don't think right, Amy. There's something, you're either too smart or you're not smart enough, or you're somewhere, like you're not appropriate for Wellesley because you don't pour tea well, and we don't like you because you ask too many questions.
There's nothing wrong.
That was the kind of crap I got. And eventually I got really tired of it. But I look at very stupid stuff, and I hear really stupid stuff, and I notice really stupid stuff that other people don't notice and they don't talk about. And I just wanted to tell you that I don't think it's appropriate to have one name have 2 bubbles on a fucking ballot. I don't think that's the right thing to do.
There should be a vote against. Go ahead, Dominic. Sorry.
Pennsylvania, you can run.
Apparently, it's legal.
Volume.
Sorry,
Dom. Can I get some volume, brother?
Oh, I probably have to turn mine down. I was on a
you're fine.
call me.
I'm just talking about Dominic.
Amy, you're good. Set up and then I'll talk. I don't think I have my headsets on. I don't think I have the right.
Oh, go ahead. You were saying.
No, I was saying in Pennsylvania, you can run as a Republican and as a Democrat, and if say you're unopposed in say the Republican, your name will appear as the Republican candidate, or even if you were opposed, you can still be on. You can be on as a Republican and as a Democrat, so that could be why his name was twice. When I ran for school board, I did that. I mean, it's a common thing. You put your name on both ballots, and you have a better chance of winning.
There you go. Taylor, where are you at, man? You're at work?
No, I'm at Texas State University. I'm editing videos because I just I recorded a bunch of videos at the Austin Pagan Pride Day. Yeah, it was really great. So they're going to be on my YouTube channel. And Amy, did you say I'm hot?
I actually said James was hot. Because I've seen him more, right? Okay, right. Hey, you're hot too.
Oh, damn. Yeah, I thought that's what.
But you'll get hotter the more I see you, because that's how it works.
Because I'm branding the shit out of Amy right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm sort of one of those. What do you call them? The people who just care about people's brains more than they care about what they look like. There's a word for that.
Well, then I'm screwed both ways. Okay, so what is this video of Taylor that you're talking about? That you have? It's you were there the entire day, or?
Oh yeah, it was from 10 a.m. to 4, and they had a lot of performances. They had a concert there, and they had this guy who supposedly is a bard who would tell stories. They got some of that on video, and also a belly dancer performance. So they will get that in video. So yeah,
very good.
So I'm Yeah, I'm on campus because I don't have iMovie, so I use like the computers here with their software that has iMovie, and I'm gonna edit them and put them on YouTube.
Is this a kind of a political venue or just what is this?
It's a religious, like, festival, like
the Harvest Festival kind of thing?
well, yeah, we do celebrate, those kind of like holidays, which would be like Samhain, which is like where Halloween comes from, and it's like what the what like the pagans and the Celts like celebrated back before like Christianity took over like Europe.
Paganism, yeah, that's the catalyst for the creators of the comic books of the Bible. Hey, so this is it's not Christianity, it's other, it's like you're saying it is paganism or back further?
It's kind of like religions that are like that are not like
mainstream anymore.
Well, that's a minority. That's not a Christian, Jewish, or Muslim, like Islam. Those are like kind of like it's kind of like a movement that brought back that, like with like Wicca and then As It True.
So this is kind of like mythology. Kind of that.
There's all kind of different mythologies. Like there's Celtic, Norse.
Oh, okay. So it's a culmination of all.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a very diverse.
See, that's awesome because you guys can mix all your religions together, but trying to get a Jew, a Christian, and an atheist. No, not an atheist. And give me another religion. Islamic in the same room. That's like instant death. But you guys are cool with religions, having a party, hanging out, talking about the good old Thor's hammer and all kinds of shit like that, which is cool. But
see, I am like wearing the ring.
There it is. Yeah,
and it's like a wolf and pinnacle.
That is pretty badass stuff, dude.
Yeah, that's why I'm all dressed up like this. I was wearing a green cloak.
Nice. Is this part of the group behind you?
No. I'm here by myself. Those are just other students.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah. Is this the library?
Yeah, this is the library.
Look at that. Where's all the books? Where's all the books at, Taylor?
Oh, well, I mean, I'm not at the part yet.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, the books are like on other floors. This is where it's just all computers.
Yeah, that's the books. That's the libraries of the future. It's just PCs. Yeah, I can't.
James, I told you I felt bad about my my recommendation to Christian about the libraries. Actually, his vote.
Yeah,
because I did send, and I hope he got that, and I'm not sure. I don't know whether it passed or not in New Jersey, the bonds. I think it did. I wasn't allowed to look at news this week, so I probably don't know. I don't know if it passed. I kind of backpedaled. I was going towards the Kevin on that, on that issue.
Right.
We need to be able to do federal money, tax money, to pay for the shit.
Totally.
Oh my gosh, look what Rebel Cage said. And sacrificing virgins. Yeah, that's not done anymore.
Oh, you guys aren't sacrificing virgins? Darn. Well, I ain't going there. I ain't gonna fucking do that then.
So you can tell Kevin I agree with him maybe on something.
Yeah, y'all should watch the movie Wicker Man.
That's very good. Thank you, Amy.
Yeah.
I will let him know.
Yeah, Wicker Man.
Listening, yeah.
Y'all should watch the movie Wicker Man. That's like a really good movie about kind of like, I mean, it's not real though. It's kind of like fiction, but about like people that like in Scotland that still practice their pagan religion, and then apparently they would try to plan on sacrificing this virgin and this Wicker Man.
Is that on Hulu or something?
Huh?
What channel is that? Is that like mainstream?
It's a movie. Wicker Man.
Who's the star?
Well, I don't know. It's like made
Keanu Reeves?
No, it was made in the 70s, and it was a British film. Wicker Man. Yeah, but I wouldn't recommend the remake of it. The remake I heard sucked really bad. Yeah, and of course Nicolas Cage did the remake of that movie.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Wicker Man with Nicolas Cage. I think I've seen that movie.
Yeah, but I would recommend the original one back in the 70s. I heard that one's good. And there's Wicker Tree. That's another one.
Yeah. Oh my God, someone, that is so not happening ever.
What?
In the chat, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Amy and Kevin wedding. Dom, are you still invited? Me and Kevin aren't getting. Why would that ever happen?
Okay.
How did that ever happen in any kind of chat? James.
What?
You know me and Kevin pretty well. How would that ever have come about?
I don't know. Maybe
he's laughing.
You know. Sometimes the strangest relationships happen from the strangest parts of the soul. Just saying.
No, look. I mean, he has to. God only. I hope that he's only in his early 20s, like 21. Like that's how young he is. I hope that. But anyway, you can't change a man. They change themselves. Like I'm pretty old, and I've known a lot of them. You don't change them. They change themselves. They are who they are. Right. They have the integrity. They have the ability to do what they're going to do at a particular time, and then they might decide later on. But you're not. It's just not the right. It's just not right. Oh God, I don't know. I don't know who said that. That's so funny. It's so funny, but he's right. But the thing, I can tell. I can go and say I think he was right about that. I don't think that he understands that I've read more legal cases than him. Where am I? Because I'm a little bit more forgiving. I don't know. That's very funny. Thank you so much. I don't want to get married. It's not a thing in my future. Kevin might be younger than me. Maybe it's a thing for him. The lady doth protest too much. Yes. I love the Taming of the Shrew. Love Liz Taylor in the Taming of the Shrew. Huge fan. Okay, copyright lawyers, I do patents and security snark, but I appreciate it. You guys are funny. Yes, me and Kevin are not getting married.
You guys do me a favor and don't tell Kevin. Okay, I don't.
What? Kevin thinks we're getting married?
No, I don't want to hurt his feelings because maybe he was.
Was that his game? Don't tell me that was his game, James.
Oh no, I'm not saying anything. All I'm saying is I don't want him to get hurt or let down. So let's keep this publicized, copyable, and linkable show to ourselves.
Please, no? Don't even tell me he was doing the first grade He was doing the first grade Billy Moynihan thing on me. Seriously, he wasn't doing that.
I think Snork.
It wasn't happening.
Snork has the best idea. You got to get the kid drunk. That's what I'm saying.
Snork always has the best ideas.
He does. He's a brilliant man. He's a brilliant man.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So what I was talking to was interesting. Hey, did Christian? So we got to somebody ask Christian if that thing passed because I think that was yesterday as well. Or no? When did the vote?
The library bond thing pass?
Yeah. When did that happen? Friday.
Well, the vote obviously was on Tuesday, right? We all voted on Tuesday.
Okay, Tuesday.
But I didn't watch news this week because I was banned from it. Yeah, I was banned from news.
From the news? I don't get that.
Oh, just myself, one colleague, and just my bridge partner. All of a sudden decided that I was banned. But my coworker actually stopped using Twitter and also Facebook this week. Also. So that must have been harder because I don't have it. And he knows I don't even, have a real phone, though. I have a phone that does email wherever there's Wi-Fi and whatever.
A real phone?
But I only get messages at my house. I don't actually have a cell phone.
Here's a good question. Here's an interesting question. Now that you're telling me that you're a copyright attorney and you're
No, I'm a securities / maybe patent litigation.
Or patent litigation. Sorry, not copyright.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, so you don't have like another phone that you have to stay in contact with your clients or customers or people that you're associating with, where you have
I'm not a partner. I don't have to do that. I have email. I have my computer everywhere, so I can contact people.
You work from home?
I know. It has become an issue. I need an on-site phone.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Right.
And most.
Or they'd have to provide me with one, but they know that.
Well, then
they'd actually have to.
Just say, give me a damn phone.
Right. If they needed me to have one, they'd have to provide me with one. And, if I'm between, whatevers, that's it. They know where I am.
So you feel that everything's so you're good. You don't need you're good.
I'm not important enough for them to contact me in the small amount of time that I'm not at work. Or at a computer. They don't,
You're not on that list.
I'm probably sleeping. Yeah, no, I don't. I'm not that important. And if I was, and if I didn't have one to pretend that I was, if I really felt that important, I'd probably get one, right, myself. But if they needed me to have one, they'd have to fucking buy it for me.
That's it.
They would have to buy it for me.
But they're not.
They'd have to provide me with one.
They're not going to because you're not that important, Amy.
You're that pivotal.
Yeah, they're not going to because, as you said, you're just not that high on the totem.
Yeah.
But they are paying you, right? But you are getting paid, right? You're not. This isn't a voluntary.
Yeah,
position.
no, I'm getting paid better, and they pimp me out, and I'm still getting paid the same.
Nice.
So that's what I'm I'm super grateful for that. Actually, I'm super grateful. But we're gonna see what the downfall is, and they're gonna send somebody to my office who I actually don't. I don't not like her, but I think that she's going to fuck up the dynamic of our office because she's annoying. She rats on people. She's intolerant of things, and then she reports it to supervisors. And we have a room of like 12 people who are really chill with each other, like say a chat room. And now you're going to bring in somebody who's going to rat on this to like 2 people at once. And I'm less concerned about us being pimped out because nothing really bad's going to happen to us. But you're adding one other person to our dynamic that I think is going to actually be a bad thing. It happens. Actually,
are you just assuming this is going to happen, or are you just like trying to foresee the future?
I'm sort of a poker player, James. I have this sense of people. They're, you're a little bit more surfer openy than me. There are signs. I don't know. It's like a horoscopy, psychic kind of like personal psychology kind of thing.
You may be a shaman not even realize it.
I'm not. See, right? I know. Maybe I am. It's possible I am.
Yeah.
People would find that voodoo-y.
Yeah. Well, some people call me the Big Kahuna. Just saying.
Some people call me what? A cowboy? You should have started this.
Oh, that's it. This is. Can we call you this? All right, I got it. Some people call Amy the Space Cowboy. Yeah. Some call her the Gangster Love. You like, that's cool, right?
Exactly.
You know, I just put Amy/Space Cowboy on there.
Space Cowboy.
I like that. Yeah.
Oh my God! Did someone just call me Amanda?
No, I don't know.
You going to be okay, Amanda?
Amanda? Is there an Amanda?
I don't know. No, I'm not an Amanda.
No. Okay. Anyway, Snork, what's going on? Snork, Amy, Snork comes on. I like to ask him if there's anything interesting, new, and fantastic in the world.
No, I've been tied up with local issues.
Tulane, like one of maybe a stop sign fell down or something.
No, my father's medical issues.
Oh shit! Sorry. Okay, that definitely is an issue. Sorry to hear that, bud.
No problem.
Fly is here, but I don't know if he's here. I think he's here. He's kind of here. I sent him a message earlier. So Amy, what we were talking about, you guys, I don't know if you saw the beginning of my show. When I come on, I first talk about a little something I think is important. And what I think is really probably the most important piece of our government and just anything. The most important piece of what's happening out there right now, which I think needs to be addressed, is trust. You know, we're having a hard time trusting the media. I mean, I talked about like relationships all the way up to, you know, which comes to think, I don't know would you be able to even trust Kevin? Would Kevin be able to trust you? Anyway, don't answer that. But I know that was funny.
I would answer that. I would answer that honestly, James.
No, I'm just saying. I was just poking and prodding. Sorry, my bad. But I think the biggest thing right now is just trust, because we've got Jimmy Dore talked about the JFK files, about Castro and the CIA coming out. I don't know if
dude.
What is it? What's dude?
Oh, that's I don't know about anything.
No, there's a lot of.
But actually, I actually tried to listen to the audio biography of Fidel Castro in Cuba.
Okay.
While I was in law school, I was waiting for his biography. It's really fascinating. He's very fascinating.
He didn't seem to be all that bad of a person, honestly.
Right. He did some really good things, and when you listen to it from his perspective, he did some really good things.
Mm-hmm.
Still, I mean, there's actually, I believe there is a literacy rate of like 99% in Cuba. They have tons of doctors. When Hurricane Katrina hit here, they were trying to send help and aid, doctor-wise, money-wise. We refused to accept it via George Bush because we were so anti-Cuba, anti-communist. That is not an appropriate stance. Like, what is your? I mean, what is your measure of anything? We don't have one. We don't have one. We pretend everything that we do is
very good.
They're kind of, you know, it's incredible. But Fidel Castro is also amazing because he survived like a million sort of, and this is only on 2 discs. I didn't even get to listen to the rest of it.
Attacks.
But he survived a million sort of assassination attempts.
Yes,
different kinds, like food,
sanctions,
ink and pens,
everything. Just everything.
Everything. They wanted to kill him. And he was not perfect. He was not good. He was not good. But he was always fighting against something bad. And that's the thing about people who are in power or who want to be in power, or who, you can judge them for being dictators, you can judge them for being assholes, you can judge them for all this stuff. But sometimes the shit that they're fighting against is worth fighting against. So we're all not perfect in what we think or feel or what we're fighting for. It's just, and then you end up getting molded into this thing, and then you get a reputation for something. But if you actually look at fundamentally what they were good for and what they were against, if you had to vote for this or that about a certain person, here's where you'd fall. And you turn out to be either a hero or villain, but that's not the way life works. It's not a black and white life. It's not a hero villain life. And even Thomas Edison, who invented light bulbs, isn't a superhero inventor of our country. He's a fucking dickhead who tried to monopolize something.
Yeah,
when there might have still been a law to fight him on. There might have been a law back then to fight a monopoly on. Just saying.
Yeah, so hey, just letting you know, by the way, my internet's starting to do stupid shit again, you guys. I apologize. I think it's back on, but this should not be happening. I don't know why. Sorry.
No, I think I was done. That was a long enough rant, I think.
Yeah, Amy, we let you kind of go off because you come on every once in a while, and it's interesting, and then after you leave, we all giggle and laugh about it, just letting you know.
Oh, really?
No.
You get about what I said, or about how horrible and intrusive I was?
No, you got some good stuff.
I hope not the latter.
No, I'm just playing around. Everybody that comes on here, and I'm not perfect. I've said some dumbass things, but even the stuff that may not make sense, or if it's something that's not maybe helping the masses, but maybe it's just helping me, which is okay. Because as I've said, this is whether you think or not, a lot of people like coming on here just to get it out. There's so much shit happening in the world, and getting feedback from somebody. I hate to say this, but we're like a 12-step program. And sometimes it's good to come in, talk about the crap that's going on that's not fair, that you don't trust, that's horrible out there, and just let it go.
Oh my God. Angel just, oh my God.
What?
Angel just wrote that Amy and Kevin sitting in a tree talking. TAL. Come on. No. Oh, wow. Because they think that me and Kevin talking is going to, come up with solutions for the world. We're not going to me and Kevin talking is not going to come up with solutions to the world.
Mate, you never know. Some of the things that people say on here, honestly, should be done with a therapist and or a counselor. Not you. I mean, it just comes. It's okay. And then some people just like to share certain things, which is fine, and I'm okay with that.
Right.
Other people have their shows.
And we've all been.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say we've all been mad enough with someone else to, whatever. We've all been mad enough.
Yes.
So Kevin and I could certainly get to that point before me and most of the world. If a word is spoken, just one word. But that's just not even it. I would say that I could argue with Kevin pretty badly.
No, Kevin's not an idiot. He's a very smart kid. There's no doubt. And what's great about
Kevin... But he's an idiot.
No,
he's an idiot.
He's not an idiot.
He doesn't know when he's not But he doesn't know when he's incorrect. That's what irritates me.
Because I'll tell him and everybody else in the free world, and you'll tell him. I mean, but the thing is
I know, but you can't just say that. Like me, you can't say that shit. I'm a really smart person too, but I'm not the person to like tell you. I will never tell you what I don't know. I will tell you where you can find it, where I think you can find it, or why I think you can't find it, because it's so fucking hard to find.
Yeah, that's
the kind of person I am.
Okay, but what we're talking about is Kevin's not an idiot. He's not
an idiot. I never said he was an idiot.
He's not moronic. A lot of us are naive in certain ways.
I didn't say that.
No, I'm just saying a lot of us are. And like me, I can talk about football and surfing and baseball and basketball, and I can talk about, some things politically pretty well, but a lot of things I can't. I can't really talk about, habeas corpus that much, or how law and all that. Yeah, actually I can a little bit, but you see, that's not my realm. So that's why it's good for all of us to come in here, and it's good to have you here, because if anybody comes up with some term that you think, well, it doesn't sound right, because I actually did go to law school and I did pass the bar, thinking like you, or if somebody comes in here and says something, and yes, excellent, and then somebody
I didn't.
You didn't pass the bar.
Yvonne is saying I said Kevin was an idiot and then said she was an idiot.
Yeah, you did.
All right, fine, Yvonne. If I said that he was an idiot, I didn't mean he was an idiot. I meant he was an idiot in a different way. It's just, it's...
Anyway.
He's not stupid.
No, he's not. And he's not an idiot. But
I want to clarify. I was just, like, he's not a stupid person, but he just... is he doesn't think beyond, and maybe I'm like that too. I think I'm a little bit less like that. I'm a little bit older. I am. I'm a little bit older, a little more jaded, probably a little, random stuff. But I mean, if Kevin actually thinks that he's read more legal cases than me and can't even, sort of concede to that, it is a little ridiculous.
That's obviously still pressing on your mind. I want you to do this. Ready?
No, I have a journal for that, James.
No, I want you to say these simple words right now. Ready? Ulua. Say it. Ulua. Just say it. Ulua.
No.
Just say it.
All right. Snort. I can't even hear you. Can you write it? I'm more of an Cree written word kind of person.
This. Okay, it's Ulua. You want it ready? Just say it. Ulua.
Ulua.
There you go. You know what that means? You know what that means?
What does it mean?
It's a fish.
I'm freeing myself of Kevin.
No, yes, you're freeing yourself of everything. It's a it's a fish that lives in the sea that's very free.
Yes, I freed myself of Kevin. Ulua.
Ulua.
Kevin.
Yeah, whatever. That's it. Just let it go. Let the fish go. Let the fish swim. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay. Rebel Cage is saying that I said that when I meant it when I said it. Okay,
right,
fine.
Well,
whatever.
Okay, so now everybody's just...
You can all...
Now everybody's just trying to push your buttons.
They're just trying to push your buttons. About Kevin.
They're just trying to push your buttons, Amy.
You just...
Amy.
No, we're not going to... No, it's fine.
Buttons?
Oh.
No, I'm actually, James, I'm not going to. I'm not going to.
No,
if they don't want to understand where I'm... Ulua.
That's it. Let it go.
If you don't care where I'm coming from, then that's fine.
Amy, please, let Snork has a chance to speak.
American Indian tribe north of here that gives fish to the dead. Because I noticed Taylor was talking about, he got to attend a dead dinner, which is, he'd have to explain that for us. But in this Indian tribe, they have graves that are set up with little holes in them that you can take care of the dead you can feed them once in a while, give them offerings. I don't know if they're really considered offerings, but they do on special occasions put food down to the graves, and it's fish. So it's washing away. Here's your fish.
Yeah, it's like you're getting rid of it. Just let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
Here's
you heard that song on Frozen? Amy, I know you know that song.
There are a few people who have done that song, but environmentally, I think I'm going to go to a thing on Wednesday morning. It's a hearing in New York City. It's about public money divesting in New York for there's like at least $4 million of public money being invested in dirty fossil fuels. And so there's a hearing at 9:30 in the morning. So I'll have to write a note to work and say I'm going to be late and do my hours separately and differently, but I will
check that out.
I definitely think I will, because James Cromwell, and I'm not a huge TV watching person, but apparently he's in some TV shows that are very popular, and he's in Long Island all the time, because I'm pretty sure we have rules against fracking in New York, but we're still importing fracked gas. And we're also still investing in it. And I think that we should be more like Washington, Seattle, other cities that have divested from that kind of thing. So I want to show up to that Wednesday morning. The rally's at 8:30 and the hearing's at 9:30. So if I can't do the rally, I'll do the hearing and I'll miss work in the morning. And that's...
Well, you really want to do that. That's...
What? I do, because I do want to do that.
Fracking is good. But one concern that I have when I'm here, like half of the people in this town are dead. I mean, the cemeteries are more people than what actually live here. And I notice where the rivers and streams are right beside the cemeteries. To me, although I do view fracking as bad, I do view the chemicals as bad. But I see the embalming fluid and stuff like that that's used right beside all these rivers and streams to be much more of an immediate environmental impact than I do fracking. And I never see anybody complaining about chemical treatments for the dead and how the bodies are just almost immediately going into the water table.
Wow.
Definitely people don't know as much about that.
That's pretty much
well,
it.
They barely know about fracking.
Other than radioiodine and xylene and toluene, the embalming fluids tend to be in classes that are far worse. And again, these are right at the surface water. And surface water here becomes well water in 6 months. So, and when you talk about New York City, upper New York City and stuff, this is a far more immediate threat than fracking. And again, I'm not saying fracking is good. I'm saying, how can you be looking at a level like, let's say there's 7 levels. How can you be looking at a level 7 when there's a level 1 out there that nobody's even not talking about?
Okay, Snort, I'm not going to say it's a bad thing. I totally want to know everything that you have to know about it. But what I'm saying is they absolutely should not be investing New York public funds in dirty fossil fuels as investments.
I agree. And
as a money thing,
I need a patent lawyer for free energy devices.
You need a patent lawyer. Shit. I know. Patent law is tough. Right now I'm doing engineering, which is like the worst of the worst, because I can't read that shit. You know I can't read that.
Engineering about what? Is there a title?
She probably can't tell from confidentiality. She probably can't tell.
Memory for devices I don't know how to use.
Maybe she can't discuss
memory for devices I don't know how to use.
Okay. Micro memory.
How to extend a battery life?
Oh, just battery life. Have you come across the word anisotropic?
Yeah, probably. Did I know what it meant when I first saw it? Hell no. Yeah.
I'm just teasing. No,
it's all an acronym, Snork. You know it's all in acronyms. He knows it's all an acronym.
And I mean, if you come across anisotropic and
Gandalf. I haven't even seen Game of Thrones, by the way, but I've seen Gandalf.
Don't give me any.
I've seen Gandalf. I actually have seen Gandalf.
And MEMS, the same sentence. Just close all the blinds and make sure the Clintons aren't coming for you.
Ooh.
I haven't seen Clinton has not been involved.
Okay.
There's no Clinton involvement, but I have come across Game of Thrones terms, even though I've never seen Game of Thrones before.
Batteries are a wonderful field to be involved in. But yes, there are so many chemical industry needs to know we have to get the aldehydes away from the people. And aldehydes, you know one, formaldehyde. You don't know another one, and you should. It's acetaldehyde. And how do you get acetaldehyde? Well, you take a PET pop bottle or water bottle and put it in the sunlight for 6 weeks. Well, maybe 6 months. Somewhere between 6 weeks to 6 months. And it starts forming acetaldehyde. So we have to be watching for these things in our environment.
I know. There's so much. I mean, even just the plain water. But I want to go. Sometimes I'm not really smart about things, and I want to be smart about them. And so I want to go. I want to hear about why New York is investing in this. I mean, it's clear to me why they shouldn't be investing in dirty fossil fuels.
Especially when
I think I
always try to push sewage.
I don't.
Sewage is
I don't have to know about it if.
So why are you pushing?
If I don't have to know a lot about it, know that it's morally incorrect, that's sort of enough for me to want to find out more about it.
Using sewage for fuel.
I don't understand. What? Sort of. Yeah, I would like one.
You need to have these slogans in your head. Why are we investing in fossil fuels? Sewage fuels clean the world. Nobody goes hungry when you use sewage for fuel.
But even cleaning the world is it's one of those statements, like a platitude, right? They're not going to buy into it because it doesn't mean anything. But that's always been it's sort of been my philosophy. And if I can learn more about it, I will. And I'm not going to say I know everything about it.
Yeah. If
why my non-husband Kevin comes on here and pretends he knows all about all of this stuff, which is really humorous, and he doesn't,
Richard Branson actually fueled one of his 747s with sewage fuel. Yeah. And you know what they found out was wrong with it? The mechanics don't get paid overtime because they don't break down the engines as much.
I mean, it's just unbelievable. It's just there are certain things we should not be making money off of, and we do it. It's just the worst part. I don't know where the line is. I'm not smart enough for that. I don't know if Noam Chomsky is smart enough for that. He's never drawn it because as rich and as smart as he is, he was still going to vote for Hillary Clinton. And if I had one question for him, I would say, why the fuck, why? Because it's just not good enough.
As smart or less smart than the others, we need to think of ourselves as how smart are we when we're all working together? Because it needs everybody from all
but they don't do that. And I've heard commercials about how they care about philosophy still, but nobody cares about philosophy. We're actually creating artificial intelligence that has no judgment. I know people every day that have no judgment.
Alexa,
and those people are creating artificial intelligence. And in fact, it's not only, and if you want to talk about buy American, be American, have American values. We don't even have grad students in America anymore. They're all foreign, and it's other people who are engineering our computers and our future intelligence. So it's all just this, it's crazy. It's all just insane. And I don't know. I'm not allowed to say that stuff out loud. I mean, I can. You'd put me in a mental institution if there still was one available.
I gotta go see one tomorrow.
Hi. What?
I have to go see one tomorrow.
What is a psych analyst? God, it's such a fraud. It's kind of a fraud.
No, he needs it.
Who? So, the psych doctor needs the money? Or?
No, there are some psychology that is viable. And in any field.
I think I agree. Some of the science is viable. I just think the people dishing it out are a little less than
you have to remember, psychology is a very young field. Do you know how old the field is?
Do you think it's ever going to be proved? Do you think any of this shit's ever going to be like provable?
There are written law books that we address and we base our decisions on. They're 2,000 years old. So although it's not our current law, it's how we developed our law. Law is an old science.
Some of our psychological law I would disagree with also.
No, psychological law is mostly less than 75 years old. And I say mostly because even
and some of it's super bad.
Psychology
super
itself,
bad. The rest of it's also super bad.
Right. When psychology got to the 60s, it split into two factions. And the psychologists call the other faction the dark faction. The dark faction calls itself marketing. But the dark faction is just as knowledgeable as, or possibly better than the psychology. But the field keeps splitting, understanding that, well, this is too much for one topic and get split up. There are now, since the 70s and 80s, there's now fields called social psychology. There are other fields that have split off. Just like science is split into radiography and physics and chemistry and whatever, psychology is at most 130 years old and just is a very young science. So the tools just aren't there yet. There are other young sciences. Geology really isn't that old. Although there are some things that were done way in the past, the classification of rocks. But even that's changed since the 50s because of the ability for us to use sound waves through the earth gave us such a unique change in the understanding of geology. Geology changed so much in 1950. We might as well say that geology is only 60 years old. I'm sorry. Did I lose everybody? Was I ranting too much?
No, not at all. I put myself on mute, Snork, while I listened to you.
Oh, suddenly got quiet. I thought I scared everybody away.
Right. No, I figured out how to do it, and I had a VTech 6.0 phone, if that means anything to you. It means nothing to me. It doesn't mean anything to you either. Anyway, no, I was listening to what you were saying about psychology, and but the thing is, like, when scientists, you said 130 years, right? So there was Freud and dreams and stuff, but now it's like they're studying what's there and just not. It was sort of novel. I mean, studying dreams, that's weird. I mean, I have some, I remember them. I'd be like the first person that he would talk to. It's amazing. I write them and other weird shit in my journal just because I don't want to some I don't forget. I remember everything that I don't have to remember. Like anything I can look up, like shit that Kevin says, I don't remember. You know why? Because I can look it up.
Well, with peer review.
Like what? I know that's insulting, but it's not. I mean, it is, but it's not, because he does know a lot of stuff.
With peer review.
And I do.
And correction.
What?
Psychology has changed a lot since Freud.
I know, but the people who purport to have that, who purport to have that and do that as a profession are very, very, they're by the book basic. They don't do anything different. It's super boring. There's nothing innovative about it. And their judgment is like none. You might as well be working for human resources with you had a little bit more money to go to school for another 2 years. It's just really bad.
Well, I found the human factors psychology to be fantastic.
The human factor? What?
Human factor psychology, where you understand how to
trigger Amy time. Kevin says Amy's wrong.
Yvonne
is doing stuff. I don't even know what he means. Is that mean? I know my voice is mean. I'm sorry. People don't like my tone. I don't know. My new supervisor, after I just got pimped out, that's a guy who didn't like my tone, dude. He moved my desk and then he didn't like my tone.
I
don't know.
Once where a guy got fired. This was not on the factory floor. This was in an engineering office where one of the guy's shoes were too casual and he got fired.
His shoes were and it wasn't even flip-flops or anything. I saw an article, I think, about a guy who decided, he didn't have the right pants on, and he went home and he wore a skirt or something. Or, it was in California. Clearly, it was in California. So James must know. No, there was this guy, and he was just I was inappropriately dressed for work, and then I came back with a skirt on. Because it was too hot, so he wasn't allowed to wear shorts.
As long as you didn't wear
he wasn't allowed to wear shorts, but women were allowed to wear dresses, so he came back with a dress on. There was a story about that.
Well, I don't know how we got so off topic.
Oh, sorry. Thanks, James. It wasn't really James. James has his robots and stuff. Yeah, no, okay. I don't know how I can get back. So we had shorts.
I lost my turkey today or yesterday, and I'm just devastated.
Like a live one?
No. It was a frozen turkey. So I was trying to thaw it. My father didn't understand what thawing a turkey was. And he put it in the sink with a bunch of garbage. And I figured it was too contaminated to be safe to eat. So I took it out for the raccoons. So my raccoons are going to eat well tonight.
Well, that's very good. That's good for them, Snork.
Yeah. Some raccoon's going to be walking out tonight. A 20-pound turkey. So we'll find out. And it'll smell like cat food. It was in cat food.
Oh, that's terrible.
Half-eaten cat food. So either the cats will like it or the raccoons will. Usually raccoons love cat.
People actually always say like how nice it is, and summer in New York is, but if you live here, it actually smells really bad.
Well, if I did this in New York, I'd bring rats. Right?
You saw the pizza rat video, though, right? He's kind of cool. You gotta YouTube it, Snork.
Okay.
Did you not see the pizza rat?
No, I have not seen the pizza rat yet.
Oh, dude, the pizza rat kicks ass. He stole an entire piece of pizza and took it into the subway. It's amazing. The pizza rat is amazing. And it is like a New Yorker without $50. You have to jump down that YouTube hole.
I got it. He really moves that fast too.
With a whole slice of pizza. Yeah, like come on. Like, come on.
Oh, yeah. Well.
Yeah, I mean. Even the rodents in this city find a way to, power through stuff.
I've only been there flying through to go somewhere else. So, when you fly in, you come pretty close to the Statue of Liberty, but you're not down low enough to see any rats. So
no, you normally don't see them carry pizza down the stairs. That is so. That was pretty cool.
To see any of the fun things in New York City. Next time I go there, I'll have to stay there longer.
You're still not going to see that, except I saw that I didn't see that live. That's not my video, Snork. The craziest thing that I saw was a guy, and I saw something pretty crazy, and my friends would say this is the craziest thing that anybody they knew saw. But I saw a guy bring a full-size refrigerator on a subway on a dolly on 33rd Street, so you had to wheel it downstairs by yourself. A full-size refrigerator on the subway. And he was taking it all the way to the Bronx from Manhattan, and he was just like, yeah, they wanted $50 to drive it to the Bronx, and he's like, I'm taking this shit myself. Second Avenue Deli was giving it away. And it was hilarious. Like nobody, who brings a refrigerator on the subway by themselves? You don't do that. It's there's a certain type of New York that has a way of getting things done. If you don't have $50, it's very, you have to appreciate that.
When I first moved here, when I moved here, I gave my kids my car out in Illinois. I moved to this little town without a car, and I had a bicycle. And I put a trailer on my bicycle, and it's 0.7 of a mile to the grocery store. And I found that I could put 150 pounds of groceries in my little trailer on my bike. You can get water, pop, everything. And I got down to the point where I knew how much everything in the store weighed and how close I could come to 150 pounds. Because I could get 150 pounds in the trailer and somewhat more in the pannier bags on my bike. And I had a backpack. So I could really, really haul a lot. And I got to get back to that because it helped my weight loss. I've gained it back. I've gained at least 15 pounds back since I quit riding my bike like that.
Well, I have a serious amount of that kind of weight loss to do. But I was talking about, I don't know, gyms and I don't know, it's time people have. It's how they feel. It's been really tough for me. I think, I think I've been going through sort of a midlife crisis, even though maybe I shouldn't be at a midlife crisis. But I've always been a little too old. I think that's where I'm at. But also I have a bone spur crisis from running in Central Park. Lots of stuff. I don't want to go to gyms in New York. Gyms in New York are like filled with very, very fit people all the time. Very young and fit people. That's what they are. So that's also a different scene. It's difficult, and you may not have the time. Sometimes I'm working 90 hours. Sometimes I'm working 40 hours. Sometimes I'm not working at all.
We just lost our gym. We had a gym with all kinds of equipment in it. The whole store that was just nothing but equipment. I never saw anybody go in. Finally, it's being remodeled into something else. I think it's a Twinkie shop or something. It's out here in the country, most people have manual labor jobs or work in a school or something, but very few people actually would go to a gym. I have a treadmill down here. Just got it last week.
Yeah, I definitely don't have room. I definitely don't have room for that. But I use some YouTube yoga things when I feel good. I love them so much when I use them. There's Erica Vetra. I love her. I'll give her a shout out. Yoga by Adrian does like 30-day programs, which are okay. Michael Seeley, he does my go to sleep videos if I'm feeling okay. He does my hypnosis and stuff. Very nice Australian male voice for women out there who have problems sleeping and want to listen to some Australian or New Zealander put them to sleep in a wordy way.
I put people to sleep in a classroom.
I believe you, and yet I would probably I would be the last person awake. I really would be. I mean, Noam Chomsky puts people to sleep, and you're no Noam Chomsky, but I still, they'd have no tolerance for him. And I think, I'd listen to forever, for hours and hours, and he doesn't care. He doesn't put a spin on anything. He's boring as he ever is, and he has what he has to say, and that's just, God. I just wish. I gave up news for a week, and it was great. I missed you guys. I needed you, but but what did I miss? It's almost like a soap opera. It's like a fucking soap opera. Like, you don't learn anything fucking new every day. It's somebody else is mad at somebody else is mad at somebody else, and there's some backlash. And then if you listen on Friday, you can find out what's going to happen on Monday. I mean, it's so bad.
The news cycle hasn't gotten to the point yet where they've run out of news to the point where they start talking about how the 20% of uranium that Clinton arranged for the Russians to get from the United States, Russia passed on to the North Koreans. So all of the rocket stuff we've had going on, we've been complaining about Trump, it's all Hillary's. She set it up.
I mean, the only thing I saw about news, because I cheated yesterday one day because I was sick, some Donna Brazil thing, but they have little TVs in the elevator on the way to my office. And I saw on the way down today that Donald Trump was mad that Kim Jong-un decided to call him old. I was like, what? Are we going to get a nuclear war over, like, fucking, like, Rocket Man calling Donald Trump old? Like, this is what's going to happen. Like, seriously? Like, you're triggered by someone calling you old? Like, I think I'm old, and I'm, like, less than half your age. You gotta get over it, man. You're fucking old, Donald Trump. You're old. Of all things, like, there's some truth in the world. Like, what do you think is old? Define old. Anyway, apparently he's a little mad about it. I thought it was funny. I laughed. Well, sort of. I mean, he could just be, like, that offended about being called old. Who knows?
So who are the Rocket Men? Is it just Kim Jong-un?
Oh, that Donald Trump called the Rocket Man?
Yeah, well, that's... For us to call the Rocket Men, or anybody else Rocket Men, I think is definitely the pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a really bad thing. I didn't think it was presidential at all.
He's never presidential. Trump presidential?
No, but that could be like Donald Trump. Chuck Todd would be like, that's Donald Trump taking a very strong stance against North Korea's, horrible world leader, like wanting to take over the entire world and nuke everyone. That's him being a president. That's what Chuck Todd would do.
Yeah, he's just a bitch anyway. Chuck Todd's just a...
He's a super bitch.
He's just super... They're fucking... So what... Yeah, he's a super bitch. What... Who are you watching? Like, if you're watching news, what are you watching?
No, I didn't watch any news this week, James. I watched none. I came on just...
But if you were...
Nothing.
If you were to watch the news, what news would you watch?
Oh, if I was to watch the news, I know, it's tough. I watched Jimmy Dore a little bit. I watched Jimmy Dore. I watched Democracy Now! I might have watched a scene when I went to a taping of Nina Turner about healthcare. I think I told you about it.
Mm-hmm.
That I went, but I didn't watch it, and some guy sent me a link to the thing that we saw, and I didn't even watch that.
So you're not really watching the crap that the rest of the planet.
No, I didn't watch anything. Oh, the standard news? Hell no, yeah. I can't.
What about local news? Is anybody like big on local news? No, I don't think, yeah.
No, I watched it a lot when that shit happened on the bike path, because I actually saw the street close down when I was coming home from work, and that was fucked up.
That is pretty fucked up.
For me. I was like, there's something wrong, and I turned on the TV when I got home, and they didn't know what happened. And then I kept watching, and I was like, there's no way they would block off this street for that reason. If nothing happened, like that wouldn't have happened. So I kept watching, and then there was a terrorist attack, and people have their different ideas about what happened or whatever, and everybody. It was a little upsetting to me that even people on this channel, and I will say, and I'm not going to say anything, wanted to say it was like some sort of conspiracy, this, that, and the other thing. And I really don't think, and I don't like de Blasio, and I didn't vote for him, and I will say that right off the bat. But I don't think that what they were telling us was fake news. I really don't think he was trying to hide anything from us.
Bill de Blasio?
I really don't think that. And if I'm missing, or the police or fire and everybody who was there. I mean, there were everybody in New York they shut off streets. This was moments after it happened was when I left work.
Wow. How long have you lived in New York or been in that area?
Well, I was born in Westchester, and I've lived consecutively in the city now since I graduated from law school in 2011. So, but I've lived in and out.
You do realize that you say coffee, right? When you say coffee.
I didn't know, only when I was drinking when I went out, because I only have to be at work at 12:30 tomorrow, James. I can say whatever I can say coffee. I can say walk, talk, ball, basketball. I can say all of those things. It's not a problem for me. Okay. That's what I would talk like.
So
that's what I would talk like.
So here's a good question for all the locals, because I noticed that Christian is from that area too. And then for you, it's at points I go, this girl sounds like she's fucking from like totally LA. Right? And then every once in a while you'll say coffee or ball, and then you kind of reveal yourself.
That's my natural language, James. I'm sorry.
But it's cool, but it's cute. So when you guys were all hanging out together, do you guys, hey, how you doing? You guys talk like you say, you know what I'm saying? Okay. You guys, does it just come out like that all the time, or
No, but what's hilarious? I actually had to fix all this because I taught English in France, so because I speak French a little bit. But you're not allowed to have an accent. They prefer a British accent and whatever. So you're not allowed to have a regional accent, despite the fact that people love to come here and love Friends and all that crap. Anyway, so but what was hilarious is I kind of worked out the words, because initially I went to school in New England. So they were like, you have an accent, and I didn't understand. And I was like, there are all these words. So I changed them. So I changed like talk to like speak, right? Or I would reinvent the all word to the all, the ALL word. Fine. But then I went to law school, which is also a word you have to fix. Law, you have to fix it. So you fix that. But then you come down to like fucking reading cases. And then you read parts of cases in class. And you say things like commerce clause, and they're like, where the fuck are you from? Who just said that? Who just said commerce clause?
I don't know.
And it comes out of your mouth, and you're like, yeah, this shit, I can't say that. And so I had to learn new words, like authorization becomes authorization, and clause becomes clause.
Well, that's what it's
like
supposed
Santa,
to be.
And you have to fix it.
What I've noticed about the English
but
language,
not when you're drinking, James.
Yeah, when you're sipping. By the way,
damn you.
Yeah, I know. That's correct. What I've noticed, see, my daughter now lives in Auckenberg Air Force Base in England. So in Great Britain, right? But what I've noticed that if you were to say words in the English language the way the English do, you know what I'm saying, you can better spell the word because it's naturally said like that. I think that's just me. Like connection. It's like interviewing. I don't know. I'm not even kind of fucking that up, but it just sounds. It when you enunciate it like you're from England, I think the spelling comes out more correct as you're spelling it. That's just me. I suck at spelling. But
I think Controversy. Well, when it's pronounced their way, it's spelled like it's spelling, or it's pronounced like it's spelled. Controversy.
Controversy.
Yeah.
All right.
It makes sense, but it takes your tongue a while to get used to it.
Yeah, it's tricky. All these dialects, and don't even get me started on broken English in Hawaiian. It's got to be it's the cheapest, quickest, probably in my opinion at times, the most moronic slang I've ever heard, and it's so efficient. It's like you can say an entire paragraph in just like a few words. It's cool, but it's lazy.
But it's funny how you can actually fix an entire vocabulary and then find an entire other one that you have to fix. And Kay Doolittle, he's not interviewing me, so whatever you want to talk about, we can talk about. It's cool. I thought apparently I was being interviewed.
When? Today? Or what?
Well, just on the chat, it was the impression that somebody got.
Yeah, because the chat's so important.
No, well, I mean, people come in, they go out. Maybe they would.
Yeah, it's a grain of salt stuff. Sometimes they're just trying to trigger you. Don't let it happen. I don't
know. Believe me, if anything's triggered me, it's going to be, my job tomorrow. It's not an interview. Someone knows it's not a fucking interview. I know someone knows it's not an interview.
You're cheating hard. Okay.
I don't know. It's just, all right, fine. Women have such a hard time. Women have such a fucking hard time. We get shit on so much. Anytime we say stuff, we're getting why are they getting interviewed? What's going on? Maybe it's just women. It's women bashing. It's women bashing all the time.
Yeah, you guys are pretty brutal to each other. When you guys...
What? No, the women in this group are great.
No, I mean not here.
Come on.
I'm not talking about here. I'm talking about out there in general.
The women in this group, though, really are great to each other.
Oh, they're cool. Yeah, you guys are pretty bomb.
Shirley's great.
Have you ever been on the
Jenny's
show?
Great.
Amy, have you ever shown your mug on the show?
No. I mean, I don't have I have a ThinkPad, so I can't, and I don't have no, I don't fucking have a phone. We went over this. I gave up my phone because I don't believe in it. I don't believe in, if you want to know why my face isn't on here, I hate media companies. Okay. I mean, there are companies I hate more than media companies, and if I can live without it, I do without it. I don't want to pay them $70 a month for something that I don't want. I have a thing. I'm techie stupid, and I actually represent an engineering company legally, but I cannot use their products, and I learned to read their products. So I know what they write in their own emails, sort of. It's weird. Anyway, but I don't use it. I don't pay them because I don't agree with them. I don't agree with Jeff Bezos. I used to love Whole Foods, by the way. I used to shop there all the time. He buys the Washington Post. He bought Whole Foods. I haven't shopped there since. It's very hard to be a consumer of things you believe in. Mm-hmm. I don't believe in her health insurance companies. I don't believe in Whole Foods anymore. I don't believe in I don't believe in our media companies. And I refuse to watch the people on Wall Street get rich on me investing in these products. And I also try to be a little bit more conscious about where I buy my clothes. I'm not a consumer. I'm a super minimalist. It's really, really hard. It's really, really hard. But it's getting worse and worse every day. But that's who I am.
Getting hard.
Anyway, I would show my face. It's not like a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, some people don't have a cam, or they just don't do that. I'm waiting for Jenny and someone and a bunch of other people. I've seen Jake. You know, it's just good to put a face to the word. To the word that
I don't even know what Kevin, who loves me, looks like, and Kevin doesn't know what I look like either. So
maybe that could be something that maybe
I know.
you guys might want to do.
I know.
Exchange each other's pictures.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, sorry. So let's not talk about Kevin too much.
Whatever. Like, but but that's.
I know. I mean, I like the guy.
Who did?
I don't know why you guys still have that. Nothing.
Poor Kevin.
They're like, Kevin's in love with you.
His ears are going to be so red.
No, don't even. You're all lying to me. You're all lying to me.
Yep.
But it doesn't even, but every single, this is so irritating. It's so irritating. No, you don't want to know about this, because Kay Doolittle will be like, are you interviewing this girl, and why are you doing that? But the point, no, you're not. Yeah, never mind. That's not even the point.
In Japan, it's believed that if you talk about somebody who isn't there, they sneeze.
You're trying to get my cold to come out, Snork. It's not working. It's cute, though. I had enough cough drops today. No, that cough drops work. I heard this cold in New York City is taking 6 weeks to get out of someone's system. That is so, that's too long. I was so sick, man. And I had to call into work on Friday, and I couldn't even fucking bill for it. I was really mad.
That's pneumonia.
I tried to no, it's just called being sick in the fucking city, James. That's all it is. It's like sick in New York. You're like sick forever.
LA is the same way.
It's like you're on the subway with people and you're always like passing germs.
Yeah, you guys are so close. It's crazy. The great thing about LA,
we are, and we're always mad at each other for it. Yes, now you get it. But when shit goes bad, we're still like, yeah, we know.
Yeah, you guys are. You know what's weird is I was watching a video about some guy that was looking at Building 7 before it came down, 4 hours later. And the way he was describing everything and the people that were around him, which for some reason ATF and FBI and CIA and they were all there for some weird reason. But they were really genuinely concerned about each other. And they were very polite. Like in the most extreme moments, courtesy reveals itself.
Absolutely.
No, just average everyday crap.
Yeah,
stay the fuck away from me kind of shit happens.
It has, yes. And that bothers me. That bothers me so much. Like, that bothers me when I leave that bothers me every day. That's the reason that they can't even fathom why someone besides Hillary would win the election, why you have to go to a party and then be like, we should succeed. That's their solution. And maybe it is the solution, because I'm actually getting to the point where I can't fucking deal with it. I can't deal with people anymore. Racism, any of it, like guns. I can't fucking deal with it. I'd rather be New York. I want New York to do the right thing. Maybe so I want them to. I actually want New York to do the right thing in healthcare first. Bernie thinks it's better if everybody does it federally first.
You want New York to be the leader. Is that what you're saying? The leader of.
I want them not to fucking wait on it. If you're the Democratic like platform, like if that's what you think you are, then fucking do it. You do it. Actually, other people don't think that. They think it has, and maybe insurance has to be done, but it doesn't have to be done federally. It could be done within a state. It probably could be. This is way over my head, James. I've never been there, and nobody's ever. That's the thing. People in politics haven't been there. Nobody is ever there by themselves. They're there with a whole bunch of other people, knowing what is going on, and you have to be surrounded by the right people, or you don't know what's going on. Nobody ever knows this shit, except for Kevin, who thinks he knows it. But that's how I view stuff.
So you're saying,
and now I love Kevin. Now I must love Kevin again because I mentioned him.
You cannot. Now you don't represent. You can't represent your state by saying they aren't in the game. They most. I would say. You could say like Alabama's not in the game. Alabama's like oblivious to fucking everything. I would say if any states are. They've got their heads in the game and they kind of got a better picture of what's going on. It has to be New York, LA, Chicago, Atlanta.
No, you guys have a super better chance of taking out Feinstein. Please, for the love of God.
Taking out Pelosi and
Please,
Feinstein.
For the love of God. No, but Nancy Pelosi's got to go. She has got to go. I don't know when she's going.
She looks like the lady from The Walking Dead.
I have more faith in California than I have in New York. I really do. We have Wall Street.
Because we just tried to hook up single payer and the mayor.
Yeah,
I
saw
the governor and Renton fucking just.
Yeah, but you tried.
But there was that's a good point. We actually
you tried. You had it there. You had it there, and then your governor who fucking, and also not only that, you actually have, James, you have the Nurses Association.
Yeah.
You have a nurse in California. She's Rose DeMar. She's Californian, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's all in California.
We are supposed to be.
We need that. We need that here.
Yeah. We're supposed to be very liberal. Excuse me.
We need that here. I'm not a nurse. I'm a goddamn. What do you want me to do? I'm a fucking dumbass lawyer. What do you want me to do?
And now a message from the Democratic National
Committee.
No,
but I want to have faith in California. You had Jerry Brown. You have the nurses union. You have the most progressive. You have the gayest cities in America. They had fucking jokes about it. They had a dumbass lawyer gay joke about it. It was hilarious. He was like,
Democratic National Committee.
Something about why are all the lawyers in New York or because the gays take San Francisco? Something there was some dumb joke about that. That's a bad joke, but it's kind of funny. But it's still a bad joke.
We just don't have enough people that aren't attached to big pharma. Big this, big that, big banks.
And we do, and they try to sell them like Cory Booker. Oh my God! I want to punch him in the face. Like, this is not going to happen. That's why I'm like a huge proponent of Kirsten Gillibrand. People want to put her down. I'm like, in the area, she is like, I write her letters and she does the right thing. Every time. Like, she'll go the right direction. She might. Yes, I'm a fucking lawyer.
Why don't
Rebel cage rattler. Everybody's like, oh, is she a lawyer? Yeah, I'm a fucking lawyer.
Okay. Besides that, just don't worry about that. So, why wouldn't you want to maybe look into the political realm? Do you think you could handle that? I mean, you're a lawyer. And the reason why I say that is
because it doesn't. Being a lawyer doesn't mean anything. I think I've said this. I think you all know this.
Yeah, you kind of said that, but I mean, you know more about the Constitution than most of us.
You are never, even on the smallest inkling of the justice system, going to get your fucking way. And it's very hard to argue the defensive point of it. Yes, I could try. There's a whole bunch of, there's research. There's research. There's information. That poor guy, the poor, very super smart kid who was going to be put in jail, who hung himself in Brooklyn, who was trying to get information just from like JSTORs and stuff. And we should all have information to every single court case, to every single library that has information and legal, cases. But we don't have that. It's not that easy.
I thought there was some kind of.
Yeah, I have a JD.
I thought you guys have, like, I forgot, there was a name that you could go online and just.
Yeah, no, it was. I can't remember his name right now. I'm so sorry. He died in Brooklyn. He hung himself, and he was a genius. He was a little kid genius about Aaron. No, not Aaron. Anyway, I thought it was Aaron. He hung himself. Anyway, he could have been a fucking genius, but they didn't care. He was like the he was sort of a, just, I don't know.
Did you guys see SNL lately? Anybody watch SNL recently? Saturday Night Live?
Aaron Schwartz. That was his name. Aaron Schwartz.
Okay.
Amazing. Like, this guy could have done stuff. Like, he could have been the engineer I was looking into.
Yeah. I remember.
He could have been the
fuck, that kid was okay.
He could have been the guy.
And they were going after him hard.
Sorry, I could have looked it up.
They took him out.
I'm so sorry he's dead.
Aaron Hill Schwartz,
he was
an American
smarter than all of
programmer,
us.
entrepreneur, writer, political organizer. Just amazing. Yeah, 1986.
He was smarter than all of us. And
suicide. That's bullshit.
We need that information to be free.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need it to be organized for. If we have to do the research and look for it, then let us do it, but it has to be available. Like, it has to be available. But they're doing it, and people in most southern states, they get less of it. They get a more narrowed version of it. It's all narrowed.
Yeah, no, it's filtered. It's edited.
But even as a lawyer, if I wanted to represent you, I want to be able to do that. I don't want to have to pay $5,000 a month to possibly be able to do the research to figure out your case. Or I don't want to have to specialize in something so that, that's going to come down. I don't want to do that. I want to do it on a case-by-case basis.
Mm-hmm.
And in a public sphere, they don't do it. They just and especially in small towns, they don't do it because they rely on the law that they've known for 20, 30, 50 years. Nothing is new. They don't change anything. You have, and if you're not monitoring what's going on with your courts, they've really, really gone beyond anything that you can argue from any standpoint. Well, the thing is, you can argue it from any standpoint, but you're only going to win if you have money, or you're only going to win if the corporation wins.
Oh, it's all about.
That is a feeling. It's a feeling. It's not a fact. I can't prove it.
Well,
it's like a.
We can. I think if you have the right people going in the right direction, let's just say that the FBI and the CIA, NSA, ATF, and just name all these fucking supposed services that are supposed to be looking out for our best interests. They're not working for us. They're not working for the voting republic at all. They haven't been for decades. They work for the neoliberal, corporatist, 1% legislators, judiciaries, and executives out there that use these people for the banks. For money, power, spreadsheets, bottom line.
Well, I'm actually going to volunteer. I can't do it anymore. I do hand out fruit to homeless people out of my own money that I don't have. But I'm going to try to volunteer for the Innocence Project again. Not again. I haven't tried to volunteer for them before, but I like what they do. It's really hard to believe in our Constitution anymore.
Yeah.
But I feel sometimes here's a really bad thing about how I feel, James, just about the world, and maybe it will have other people make me sound a little bit more human or something. I don't know.
I swear
but
you sound like a computer.
Really, I know I do. Do I?
No.
I do. Maybe I. No. Well, you maybe you get me a little bit more than everybody else. I'm very monotone, very sarcastic, and kind of awful. But sometimes I feel just very unfree. I feel very imprisoned, and but I decided, despite the fact that I think the environment is really against us. I'm never going to have children because I'm 38 years old and I wouldn't want to have one. Not that if you have one, that's a bad thing. It's just, I wouldn't want to put one through the world that we have. Just a random choice. And I hate my mother. That's what, Nietzsche also hated his mother. Okay.
This is important.
That Nietzsche hated his mother too?
Okay, no, I'm just saying. So
yeah,
there's a lot of women out there that have had kids.
I actually want to say
to 45. I mean, there's some old moms out there. So don't. Yeah. Things could change. Our message, what I'm trying to do,
that's not changing. That's not changing for me.
The Green Party. Who knows? Things could change. One day, the world could just all of a sudden start turning in the proper direction.
The world isn't reversing, James.
Not reversing.
That's sweet.
I'm not reversing, but like just going in the better direction.
You want to have kids. Well, I can adopt kids who could probably adopt ideas. Right, Kevin? I'm winking at Kevin.
You can adopt Kevin. There it is.
I could adopt Kevin. I probably fucking could.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure you'd be just great around Christmas
He would
time.
prefer that. Does he want to live in Manhattan? Across the street from the Y?
Ask him.
I know. He probably does.
His new foster home. So that guy, Aaron, he created Watchdog.net, by the way.
Yeah, no, he was amazing.
He's done a lot of great things. I'm looking at his activism was amazing.
No, but I mean, they drove him to kill himself. I mean,
no,
seriously.
I think they fucking off the kid.
He was solidified American, right? And just he was just an American who wanted information.
Yeah, he one of his best speeches, and I remember kind of seeing this, and I'm looking at it now. Swartz, 2012, protesting against the Stop Online Privacy Act, or SOPA. And that was controversial. Yeah, net neutrality. Yeah, okay, don't have any kids. Things are just going to fucking hell in a handbasket.
Yeah, I'm not having any. I'm just gonna. No, I'm taking them from the. If I ever have a rich enough husband, I'm taking them from the public sector. Sector.
The sector.
What did I say? Sector. Yeah, that's what I said.
Are you drinking Bushmills? Are you drinking Bushmills or Jameson?
No. I had an IPA and then I had some Jameson. But thanks for asking.
Jameson.
What? I had an IPA at a Belgian bar in the Flatiron district.
That's cool.
Which is awesome. I actually wonder every once in a while, it's ridiculous. I never take pictures with people in them. And I swear to God, I must be in thousands of pictures. Just because that's the way the street moves.
Okay, thousands of pictures in bars in what area?
Yeah, exactly. Because they're all taking. So they'll.
All right, name a
swear
bar.
To God.
Name a bar that you used to hang out. One of your stomping.
There's no bar. Oh, what you want to go to a bar? No, I mean if I'm just walking to work, right? And I want to go into Italy, which is great. If you go to the Flatiron District, you see the Flatiron Building. It's an iconic building in Manhattan. It's on 23rd.
Flatiron District.
It's the one that goes.
I went to New York when I was like 3 years old.
No, it's the one that does a V.
Oh, that one. Yeah,
anyway.
Fuck. Okay, no, I know. It's
yeah. Right. So if you walk on the street, you would just fucking wonder if you cross the street, how many fucking ass pictures you're in every time.
Yeah, that I would definitely say that has probably been on. Yeah.
Eventually, I'm going to be in a million ass pictures somewhere.
That area has been on fucking probably televised.
No, and it's
anything on the planet. Absolutely. Yeah, it's been on fucking everything, no doubt. Every movie, every this, every that. Oh, okay, I didn't even know that. But you know because you're local. I don't know these things.
No, I walk by that almost every day.
Wow. That's crazy.
They have really good food in that area, if I'm lucky.
I would just imagine.
I mean, that's a really good area to have food.
Of course.
I don't even know what the fuck is in that building. I don't work in that building. I have no idea. It's a cool building, though.
It is. That's one of the iconic buildings of New York.
What?
So that's
I know.
So wait, before we continue, because it seems like we're doing the fucking James and Amy show again. I just wanted to get.
I don't know.
I got Dominic here, who I don't know if he's even here anymore. I got Taylor, who's allowing us to watch.
Tay's still there. What the fuck's Tay doing?
And then
he's got an elbow and a shoulder.
Yeah, we're getting an elbow and a shoulder.
A watch. That's better than I do.
I'm feeling like sharing a picture of Bigfoot.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
It's probably the clearest picture of Bigfoot ever taken.
Are you going to tell me the difference between a Bigfoot and a Yeti?
Yeah, but I can't talk about that.
Oh my God, it's a Bigfoot. Oh, see, I knew it.
Or a Yeti.
It's a fucking cat with big feet. That was cute.
Yeah, Yeti are are contiguous to the Himalayas.
Welcome to the Himalayas. Like in the movie.
And the big feet are
oh my God. That's weird.
The big feet are just hoaxes off the northwest coast of the United States and Iowa.
All right, so this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to start getting pictures of all of us and post them. And just on the side or up in the corner on Who's on Chat in the picture area. I'm thinking on doing that. What do you guys think about that? So Amy's going to send me her picture. I'm going to put it up here in like the left corner or something.
Mm-hmm.
What, my picture? I sent a really small one the other day.
No, I'll put...
At work. It was so fun.
No, I was going to put it in your box so that it'll be over your box. I can do that. I can put a picture over the box that you're talking about, so we'll know. Oh, that's Amy. Yeah, just so they'll know who we're talking. It's just I'm just branding.
Do you take mine from? Oh.
No, I'm not taking that one. I don't even that. I want to.
No, I mean you could all look me up. I was just the only
I'm talking about everybody else too. So I'm talking about people that I've never seen on here. Like, and I don't know if they want to, like Jenny Lynn, never been on. Angel Tibbs, never seen her. Jeffrey Pearson. Do we know Jeffrey? Do I know Jeffrey Pearson? Anyway, Chad Wilson. I think Amy is a cat. Okay. You're making Kevin friends already. And then Red's on here. Don't forget Sam School went to... anyway, Chad Wilson's on here. Yeah, I was just thinking there could be a way instead of... So I can maybe just show that certain people are in the chat. Or I can actually put the chat. I don't know. I'm thinking about the show and editing and producing. You do know this is a show, Amy. Do you know that?
What?
See, if you're not going to pay attention to us, then you know what?
I do. Do you say it's a show?
No. I was saying it is a show, and I was saying in the last show the other day, and I was saying, okay.
You're showing me an asshole?
Oh, thank you. No, that would be Snork. Thank you, Snork. Or somebody. No,
Southworth?
No, I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, probably Kevin doesn't play bridge. I'm pretty sure Kevin doesn't play bridge. Thanks. Okay. Thanks all the people in the chat.
Anyway, what I'm saying is everybody needs to do some marketing. Send us out there, get us noticed. I think this, besides our little clique of friends and the therapy moments, we do actually talk about things that are important. And the stuff you said, Amy, makes sense in regards to to New York being more of the front runner. I think what they used to be of creating.
I actually think California should be better, James.
Yeah, California.
I expect California. Do you actually expect New York to be better than you? Do you expect that?
The reason why I say that
we actually were first. We were first, right?
You're 3 hours ahead of us, so you guys should definitely be first.
There is a goddamn expectation. I want to ask. Here you go. Ask your nurses lady. She's amazing. Rose Edisario. What is right?
I think so.
Yeah. So like she has to have her like, I don't know, what is it called, twin here. She has to have that here. I mean, she's there. Jerry Brown was there. He was better. They were all better. They were all older. Mm-hmm. Fucking, oh God. And Bernie was just here, and I was gonna do it. But I didn't do, by the way, can I just say something? I love Bernie. I love him. I do. I would support him. I don't support him on everything, but I don't believe that everybody, I work for the DNC, Chad Wilson. Yeah, that's exactly what I do. That's exactly not what I do. Thank you for thinking. If that's what you think, you have another problem.
He's just trying to get your attention. He wants attention. If you want to give it to him, go ahead.
No, I don't anymore. And that's the thing. I don't even want to listen to news. It doesn't matter if it's Jimmy Dore. It doesn't matter who the fuck it is. I'm not even listening. I'm going to do my own analysis. I'm going to disagree, and I'm going to say the New York Times could show up on every doorstep in my neighborhood, and I don't believe it's news. And that's okay, because it's not news anymore. And I can analyze it myself, and I don't need anybody else to analyze it for me. I don't need that. I don't fucking need Jimmy Dore. I don't need TYT. I don't need it. I was really upset. I wasn't a huge fan, but Kaylin Johnstone, she was just very anti. She was like, I want John McCain to die. I would never ask somebody else to die. I wouldn't ask that. I don't care what they thought.
She's British.
And then
you know that, right?
You cannot change someone else's opinion. It's very hard to decide philosophically what will you do to make all this better. And
do you know?
I don't know if I've. No, I don't know the answer. I think I actually
yes.
still. No, I don't think it's I think.
How about a step? Would you know a step?
I don't know. I still don't know how to make it better. But I know how to make it worse. I know how to make it worse.
Was Caitlin Johnstone English?
I feel like I know how to make it worse.
Isn't she? Or is she Australian? She's
Australian or New Zealander?
She's a New Zealander, sorry.
Okay.
They're pretty Brent over there. My bad. I get those voices next up. So do you have, Amy, have any...
Yeah, or maybe she's a New Zealander, but she makes it worse, right?
Yeah,
that's a making it worse kind of attitude.
That comment is based on her, and by the way, okay, so I didn't like that comment either. Kelly didn't like that comment. A lot of us, but some people were just like, fuck him. He's a piece of shit. He should die. But the thing is that's probably not going to help our species to evolve if we think like that. So my goal
is Yvonne calling me a joker.
Who?
Yvonne is calling me a joker. She's Kevin's Batman.
I think that Chelsea should run instead of Hillary this time. And I think since they've already, this would be the year there is.
Oh, Stuart, please don't kill my love for you.
Yeah, but since they're next tomorrow.
What just happened? Snork, be careful, Snork.
Tomorrow is when they decide who's going to be the nominee for the Democratic Convention 2020. So I think it's going to be Chelsea.
None of this is happening. None of this is happening.
Penis will be for the VP.
Please tell me he's talking about sci-fi.
I know. No, he's fucking around. He can't even keep a straight face. I look at him. He can't hold it. He can't hold it any longer.
He doesn't always do that. He's bad at that. But that's my thing. That's what I do.
But I think he actually believes they're going to throw fucking Chelsea.
Oh, I believe they'll throw Chelsea in. Snicker Penis probably only has a 20/20 chance.
In hell. Snicker Penis. Who's going to be the Snicker Penis? Garden, what's up, brother? Nice screen. You thought you'd go, what is that, mauve?
You know what?
Teal?
Do you know what's super? You know what? I hear something kind of. Hi, Garden.
Sorry.
Hello. Hey, everybody. Hey. Go ahead.
So, Amy's
I was just going to bring up something really weird about Roy Moore, actually. I'm wondering, people are saying this is. I wasn't listening to news, but I saw that he was being accused of stuff, and then they were putting on the Democratic Party. But I'd also put it on the Republican Party because they don't want him. They don't want him.
Nobody wants any of the fucking neoliberals, neo-corporatist shit fucks. I mean, it's, you know what I was saying?
No, he was a Steve Bannon racist. He was the racist.
Oh, he's the racist.
And then he was like, "This is a fun time for this to come out," and I was like, "Yeah, it's kind of interesting."
What's his name again?
Because it could, if he was going to be that way, it could have come out before.
Oh. Give me his name one more time.
So, like, if Roy Moore was going to be a sexual predator and the Republicans really wanted to win the nomination or thought they were going to win the nomination, like, they could have come out with this, like, Roy Moore is a sex offender thing ahead of time.
That's the guy. Okay. That's why when you said that didn't hook, but now it did. The SNL did a thing on him. Saturday Night Live. Him and Jeff Sessions and.
No, but he's already won the nomination, and now now it's come out that he's a sex offender.
Yeah.
That he is denied. But it didn't come out before. It didn't come out before when he was a judge. It doesn't come out before when he's running. It doesn't come out before when he's anything.
So you're
it's interesting when shit comes out in a very opportune time for somebody else.
Yeah, like.
And you follow the money and you follow the power, and you find it.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think that happened with Seth Rich, and that the information in regards to him could have put Bernie in power if fucking Julian Assange would have said, you know what, the guy's dead. It's not going to hurt anybody. He's the guy who blew the whistle.
And you know what they never talk about? And somebody did make a comment, I think on one of Jimmy Dore's videos that I wasn't allowed to watch, but I watched yesterday anyway. And some guy made the same point that I thought in my own head, which was, why, if Donna Brazile thought that she was going to appoint someone when Hillary was falling over, why was it Joe Biden and not Bernie? And not once. It's so easy. Like, he was in second. Like, why are you finding someone else? And that's not even. And I didn't read her book, and I didn't watch any of this stupid shit on anything. But it's just a question, and you'd think that somebody would ask it. And why you don't read or listen to stuff is because they don't ask that question.
Well, they don't send you. Well, you're talking about the mainstream media sending you or directing you.
You don't have access to ask that question.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't. What I'm saying is you wouldn't think of the question if they didn't direct you to it. Mainstream media. I mean, the way they work.
No, I did. I thought of the question.
You did.
I thought of the question. If you put me there, I would ask that question. That's my question. That's very interesting to me. That's a good
question, but nobody's been directed to that question. That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's their job.
Exactly. That's their job, is to keep us from
their job.
Asking the real questions, the critical thinking questions. Like you. You seem like you're a definite critical thinker. Like I think all of us are. Shit. Except for Gardner.
I'm not.
Except for Gardner. He's like,
I just buy into whatever the fuck anybody tells me.
I don't even know why this guy.
No, you called in because you had something really important to say, Gardner. I know you did.
He always does.
I'm a goddamn parrot. I'm just good at parroting.
No, that's not true.
Yeah.
You have good information on shoes, at least.
What?
It's all a fucking act.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh. He didn't even have shoe information. This guy.
I got nothing.
I know.
I got nothing, guys.
That's never happened. What's today? What's today? That should have the nothing gnome holiday.
Sunday morning. It's actually Monday morning.
Oh, it is Monday morning now. Shit, for you guys.
It is 1:42.
Whoa.
So have you guys discussed Nick Brana's decision to say basically fuck Bernie? We're gonna
Oh, I didn't watch that. Is that what he said?
No. What did he? I didn't hear what he said. I didn't watch news this week. Oh my God, what happened?
Well, they're switching over from draft Bernie into a wider third-party movement.
Because Bernie came out, I saw that was my cheat. It was my cheat, man. It was my cheat, and Bernie was on MSNBC, I guess, saying that if he was going to run again for president, even though he run again independent and for Virginia, he was going to run within the Democratic Party, and that was what he was going to do.
Well, like I was saying,
I know it hurts. It hurts a little bit, and James, it probably hurts more than it hurts me. But I still support Bernie, and I will call out anybody. I'll call out anybody. But
it doesn't hurt me. I'm not really bothered for him. I think that he's kind of wising up. I saw his interview on Jimmy Dore, but he didn't really.
He does.
He didn't really say anything too bad about Bernie, but he was agreeing with some of Jimmy's more critical points about him. So I think
really. Oh my God, he did an interview with Jimmy. That's amazing.
I think he's getting fed up.
He would too. He would.
I think he's getting fed up with some of the shit. So have you guys? Amy, obviously, haven't heard about it. James, have you heard about this?
No, I haven't heard about shit. I haven't watched news, Garden. But I did actually. That was my cheat. I wasn't allowed to watch news this week. And I saw one interview with Bernie saying if he was going to run in 2020, that he was going to run in the Democratic Party. And it kind of broke my heart a little bit. But it kind of broke my heart. But anyway, I'm just going to go. This guy has been the guy that he's been since the 1970s. And nobody else can fucking say that. Nobody else in America. Definitely nobody else in Congress. And he's not perfect. And we don't like him on some issues. And if he wins, we can challenge him on some issues. And we can be a huge coalition to challenge him. And you know what he'll do? He'll fucking listen to us. He will listen to us.
Oh, so what you're saying is that if here it is, because Garden knows I'm coming in. I'm coming in. Here it is.
I know. If you're coming at us.
Okay.
Thank God I have support, Garden.
You do, yes. You're going to need it because here it is. If you guys honestly believe that as soon as he makes POTUS as a Democrat, that things are going to dramatically change.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
Number one, he's not going to make it to POTUS. Yeah. They'll never allow that. As a Democrat.
No, but if he does, Garden.
Yes.
If he does, Garden.
A third party.
No, that wasn't James's question.
Amy, come on now.
Amy, hold on. Hold the bus.
All right. What was I going to say? Yeah. Anyways, he's not going to make it as a Democrat, and there's no chance of him making it as a third party. Now, hypothetically, let's say he did make it in there. James is correct.
Hypothetically.
James is correct. He doesn't have that. The power of POTUS is not what people think it is.
Yeah, it's not.
And he's might be able to enact some changes. It's not like a figurehead office. Don't get me wrong. He can appoint people and what have you.
Yeah.
But we're not going to see radical change just by switching the POTUS for 4 years.
There are other players involved. Everybody, I've done some serious research on this ever since I've been yapping with y'all. And I'm telling you right now, there is a two-party oligarchy. There is a deep state. There is a shadow government. And we aren't part of the plans. We're part of the mechanism for creating more wealth for a handful of people out there, but that's about it. And that's just from me doing research. I mean, you guys can say this person's going to win, that guy's going to make this difference, and if that person gets, but until a third party comes that isn't connected or by a corporate or 1% umbilical cord, until that happens, we're still going to be doing the same shit we've been doing for the last few decades.
That's fair, but we're not going to. Well, it's not all fair. I'm not gonna concede all fairness here. And in fact, Gardner, I think he was kind of. And your question was unfair, and he agreed, and then
How
made
is it
himself
unfair?
correct. Well, because James is wrong, and then you were like, I agree, but then I don't.
No, it's.
But here's what Amy was saying was right.
Here's the thing. I'm not gonna go against Jameson, because Jameson is a very powerful tool in a video form.
No, don't even.
But what I am going to say,
don't call me out on my beverage.
I'm not going to honk like that. I'm just going to say that I've been through this a bazillion times on Twitter, on Facebook. I've done the research. We have to do some things that are so dramatically out of the norm for things to change.
All right.
Or we're going to
Is it going to dramatically change? Is not like a thing, James. It's not like a tool of measuring shit. It's not like a way to measure stuff. It's just not. And also, things are not. You want to ask for like immediate results. You're never going to get them. You get them. Children want them. That's what children want.
Well, and that's the problem with people wanting to vote Bernie in, is they think that voting Bernie in is going to bring about all these changes.
No.
And
really?
It won't.
Well, you and James didn't just agree on that.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did. We just agreed that it's not going to do shit.
You actually did not agree on that. You agreed Bernie was not going to bring about that.
It's going to take a larger hammer than just Bernie Sanders to make things change.
Right. So you actually said that. What are you talking about then? You just said that Bernie is not going to be that guy.
He can do some things, but like I've always said, these figureheads only have so much
power. That's exactly what you said. You're like, he's not going to be the change.
He's not going to be the change.
We need something better than that.
We do.
Right. So when you two were just discussing something.
There's some forces out there, Amy, that I'm just telling you, it's gonna really. Didn't I just say that? Then the JFK papers, fucking the CIA was planning on putting in a bomb to make what's his name fucking look like shit. This has been happening forever. There's some really.
Been dipping into sauce. Yeah, please, Garcon, please.
There are some heinous forces out there. I'm just saying. I guess I don't know how much.
You're just lying.
Okay. There's the Justice League. There's the Justice League, and then there's the Legion of Doom. Okay, this is worse than both of those guys. I'm just saying. This is like a force that you guys. I'm just saying it's pretty heavy duty.
But you can't. But you also can't lie. I mean, you guys were actually trying to say that, Bernie's not going to implement any kind of change and then be like, Bernie's going to be so changeful that nobody's going to vote for him, so we have to go somewhere else. I mean, it was sort of weird what you were doing with your words. I mean, it was very bizarre.
Whose words? His words or my words?
Both of your conversation, like, that's what you were doing.
I agree with him. Me. I agree with him that.
I mean, you both hate Bernie.
No, we don't hate Bernie.
But I'm like,
Jamie, I don't hate Bernie. I just know that the guy, he's at a position, in my opinion, to where what he has to deal with is far too powerful for what even the great and powerful.
He doesn't give a. He has been the same fucking guy since the 1970s.
Yeah, he has, but things were a little bit different back then.
Well, and let's all.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's called integrity, James. It doesn't change all that much. It doesn't fucking change.
Well, and do you think he had integrity when he walked off the stage in July 2016?
I think that
when he said, "Go ahead."
Yeah, I think
support.
Sometimes I think no. You know what? I get shit on all the time. Sometimes you think you have no power. You want to punch left, like Jimmy Dore said. Do you want to punch left? Sometimes you think that there is nothing you can fucking do, and something is rigged against you, and sometimes you have to speak out, and sometimes you can't, and sometimes you're a victim, and sometimes you're not. And he's been doing this shit since the 1970s, and it's really fucking hard. But he has had the same views. And sometimes we disagree with him, and he's not perfect. None of us are perfect.
Yeah.
Well,
if Kevin was perfect, I'd marry him. Hi, Kevin. If you're perfect, I'll marry you.
You guys heard it live, and this is being documented.
The other thing about Bernie, obviously, he's all too willing to give up his power. So we know when.
No, he's not.
When he gets into office, he's going to be a little bit too compromising.
Yeah, I think so. No, once you hit POTUS, it's almost like if you're a senator. I think senators have more fucking power, in my opinion. Just from watching these guys roam the earth, they seem to have more power than POTUS himself at times. Just the way they put shit together and fuck everybody or not. You know, because the president just seems like just the biggest puppet on the fucking planet, in my opinion.
I love it. Ted Wilson. He works for Ted Cruz. Damn. You know what is sad? Can I tell you something really sad? I actually, in the Republican convention, when the Republican convention was going on, I actually thought Ted Cruz might have been the best candidate. And then nobody was talking about how constitutionally, I don't even believe he should have been a candidate at all.
Yeah, it was Rand Paul. He was sought at. Okay, I don't know if you guys.
Rand Paul recently.
So Rand Paul actually had a really great before the primary started. He was up on the totem pole pretty far. And then,
I'm a lawyer for the Hillary Super PAC. I love this tag.
Fox went after him. CNN went after him. Of course, MSNBC. And the media just broke. They set up who they wanted to put in. And who did they put in? There were 3 guys that they were going after, and then one that they picked. Okay? Ben Carlson.
Oh, my God.
Ted Cruz.
Oh, my God.
And Donald Trump. It was set up that way. I can show you the fucking...
James, why? I love you, James. I love what you say, but it's amazing how many comments that I get towards me in your chat, and all the time. Why? Pourquoi?
You just like teasing me.
Why me?
Because you just admitted you work for a Hillary Super PAC.
Yeah.
I fucking don't worry. I hate fucking Hillary Clinton.
Worship Hillary.
I think it was IPAC.
Yep.
Yeah, IPAC.
Yep.
Whatever.
You donated your car to the Hillary campaign.
Yep, you did.
It's unbelievable. I can't even do this anymore. I can't. No wonder I gave up. This is why I give this shit up for a week. And then I call you guys, and it's just like, whatever. And it's always me who's just, why? I'm called out. It's not like James is being, or Garden Gnome's being, or Snorg is being. It was Amy's being. It's not even fucking Kevin's being.
We're not Hillary supporters. We don't follow your
I'm not
philosophy.
I hate Hillary. And I actually hate her. There is nothing I like about Hillary.
Then why did
except
you
for the
donate
fact
all that money to her, Amy?
I actually defended her. I defended her once in my life when she was First Lady. Because I thought she tried to be sort of like an Eleanor Roosevelt. I thought she had a decent high IQ, and she actually tried to do public issues, but she actually ended up, and she did. She talked to Elizabeth Warren, who was fooled. She was friends with Susan Sarandon, who was fooled. And you all give it up. If you're smart enough, you figure it out and you give it up, because she was smart enough to get you to believe her, and then you die.
Well, my advice to you, Amy, is quit knocking over 7-Eleven.
I have to see everyone say with Nancy Pelosi. Okay, that has never happened. Yeah. That has
quit
never happened.
From the poor to give to the rich.
Oh
my God.
I don't. Who the fuck is Chad Wilson?
Quit stealing from kids.
Yeah. Candy.
He must want to marry me too.
A bunch of guys out there. Just pick of the litter. Pick of the litter for you, Amy.
I know, he's clearly hot and really smart and makes super good jokes that aren't even funny. That's funny. Chad Wilson. Keep trying that. It's a good game.
Chad Wilson.
He's on the chat.
Yeah.
He's been trying to get her attention from minute one.
I know. He won. He won.
And he's doing it. I think he's doing it. He's getting your attention.
Yeah.
Go for it, Amy. He loves Hillary too.
And well,
yep.
Guys will make an awesome couple.
Hanging out together.
Hanging out with the Hillary sign, like ignoring each other, fawning over the Hillary sign.
We can make a soap opera. We'll make a soap opera with Kevin, my husband. I don't know where Kevin and I got married. Did we get married in Vegas?
You're the one who kept saying it. Jesus.
They didn't.
Amy's the one that brought up marriage. And I think that Amy's the
one. No,
that...
Amy doesn't want to get married, actually. Amy has never been married. Amy doesn't want to get married, never been married, will not get married. So, no, other people brought it up in chat. That's all. It's not a thing for me. Let's play MASH for Amy and Kevin. This is Bread and Economics. Thanks, Stevie. Thank you. I think Kevin likes you a lot better, Stevie.
Okay, so
he would prefer Stevie for sure.
So
never say never, Amy. Great. No, Amy, never.
Amy.
James.
Hey. The Snork was here and then he disappeared. What just happened?
I think he thinks you're rapping.
Yeah, I don't know about Snork. I asked him, I wanted to ask him the other day about...
Okay, go ahead, Snork, please. Amy,
we had an emergency upstairs, so I had to...
You guys will be going off in about 10 or 15, just let you know.
Yeah, I had an emergency upstairs. I'm sorry. I missed the last 10 minutes.
Okay, it was good. Don't ask Amy. Talk to Gordon. No.
I was trolling Amy for 10 minutes. That's
I know.
What was going on.
Thanks, Gordon. Appreciate it.
That was good, though.
I found out that Kevin lived here in town, and he's with me. Kevin, want to say something?
Fuck off.
He fucking appears. That would be so
I know. Gordon's trolling me in Stork.
That would be so weird if somebody popped into the screen of somebody else. It just was right there. That'd be fucking. That would be the greatest thing ever.
I think Stork. Maybe Stork is Kevin.
It'd be weird, like that. Kevin and Amy talking from the same microphone.
Voices.
What?
What's up with Kevin? Why are you guys talking about
Kevin? I don't know. It's been her fucking forever. She's obsessed. She's in
love with him.
Yeah, we tried to give away the secrets to 9/11 and Bigfoot and everything else tonight.
Yeah, but we can't get a word out because all she's saying is Kevin.
Now, all of that was in the JFK tapes. If you read the 84th page.
I haven't even looked at that yet. Looked into that whole story yet. I don't think. I mean, has anything come out of it of any interest?
Yeah, Bigfoot was Lyndon Johnson's butler. No, that other than the second plan in there to destroy Miami to create a war with
Cuba
and Russia,
and of course.
So never know who's planning what and where and how many secret agencies are under the DNA. DNI, sorry. Hard to keep those
alphabet agencies, this is too many of them.
They're all under the Directorate of National Intelligence. So I might as well just start saying DNI because we have no clue how many are under them.
Yeah, I haven't really been keeping up with the news too much this weekend.
Oh, above the DNI? Jared Kushner.
Steve Bannon, Trump. Just pick your poison, your left or right poison.
Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, the only big news that I caught this weekend was that they were moving away from draft Bernie.
Yeah, well, I think that's a good point. I did watch it. He brought up a lot of good things. For instance, 61% of the United States voters would come out to vote for a third party. That means that there is 39% of the vote to be split between the two losers that the Democratic Party and the Republican Party pick. So considering it's usually pretty even split, we're talking, 19 votes each or 19% each. I think a third party that's got 61% of the people desperate for a third party almost is a shoo-in to win.
Well, the other good point he brought up was, we kind of have to somehow get on the ball before the right wing, gets ahead of the game, and we get some kind of libertarian third party or something out there, or some kind of pseudo leftist party.
Yeah,
that's designed to co-opt. It's not really designed to, accomplish anything.
Well, Hillary was already planning on running for president the moment that Bill started his second term. At the end of Bill's second term, she had already had her sights on, well, the first thing to do is to be a senator. So I'm really surprised that she wasn't able to get herself on as VP instead of Lieberman. That caught me as a surprise.
Yeah, but how does that relate to
I don't think they got along well with the Gores.
How does that relate to today's situation?
Well, like I said, she's been getting ready for 30 years, and we have somebody, whoever goes for the president from a new third party is only going to have 3 years of preparation.
Yeah, I mean, and as far as any hope of getting in this next time around, I don't think we're going to do it.
I don't think it's impossible. I'm just saying it's some work.
Well, these polls, they offer us some hope, but, we have more than just people's opinions to deal with here.
Right, but we also have almost a judo-like opportunity here, where they have so much weight and momentum going toward their corruptedness that we might be able to use that to throw them into our advantage. That is going to be our selling point for a third party. If a third party wants to bring that up, they might have a very good chance of getting in.
They're going to have to be super aggressive about it. There are so many, MSNBC Hillbot types out there on the left. It's absurd. I mean, media is so consolidated that anytime we have a talking point, there is going to be multiple megaphones shouting at us, telling us that we're wrong.
And being able to present candidates that are viable, we may have to bring some that used to be in the Democratic Party. So the vetting process of which candidates are going to be allowed to switch and which aren't is going to be impossible, very difficult. Also, functional positions, staff positions. It's going to be difficult to keep them from, even in the Bernie campaign last time, Hillary was able to get implants into his campaign. So there are so many things to watch for in so short a time. And I'm not saying it's not doable. Before Bernie, I wouldn't have thought anybody could have done as well as he did.
It's doable. I just don't think it's necessarily I think there's a very low chance of it happening in 2020. 2028 is really the election that I'm looking at. I mean, it's impossible to say really. We're 11 years out from it, but I think we're looking at that kind of thing, that we're going to have to go through a couple of cycles of this nonsense. They won't stop cheating. They won't stop their nonsense just because public opinion is against them. Not at this point.
The next thing that has to happen, like Moore's Law with computers, we have to find out a way for the people to speak more. If we, now that we look at it, how Facebook and Twitter were manipulated, okay, how do we present and talk between the people without being manipulated? That's going to be the next issue that we have to solve. And that could be being solved now behind the scenes, but we need more people with more ideas on how to solve that issue. And I think that's the most important issue to winning the next election, is how to keep the people from being silenced.
Well, people are aware of the flaws of media, so we've got that going for us. I mean, the fact that media is garbage is, it's widespread knowledge. Even the biggest adherents of some of these networks will agree that media as a whole has a lot of serious issues. So we've got that. People aren't taking media's word for things anymore, but they are, they're still not really informed about, the way media is used to push talking points. They're not aware. They don't do any research, so they're not aware of who's pushing these talking points. I mean, public education, we start doing that, but we got 2 years. Again, I think it's going to take a little bit longer for people to wise up. Maybe platforms like this can help. I think more people will start doing it at some point once they realize the technology is there, and we'll get all kinds of channels like this one. I think this is pretty much the future of online political discourse amongst citizens in a lot of ways. So we'll see. I mean, it's just, how do you get people to break the paradigm? People have a natural inclination to trust authority. We can put information out there. Are people going to read it? Probably not. It's going to be lost in a sea of noise. They're just going to have to wise up on their own to a degree. And it's a matter of how fast they're going to do it. How bad things are going to have to get before they realize what's up. Nick's initiative, I'm glad that he's pulled away from Bernie. It seems like he's wising up in that degree. We'll see if he latches on to another candidate or group of candidates. We'll have to see what those people are like. Is Nick going to take the Justice Democrats route and start getting a bunch of unknowns and people with no political records? Is he going to try to shoot for, some of the bigger candidates? Is he going to support candidates like the Justice Democrats candidates? Is he going to support organizations? He was talking about forming coalitions of various sorts, but not having them all under one umbrella. Like, what does that look like when you're trying to, get a mass amount of people to vote one way or another? So it's tough to tell. It looks like Nick was just kind of thrown, he had this plan in the beginning that Sanders was going to come along for the ride, and that never happened, and this is plan B. So what do these various groups look like? How do they organize? I mean, that seems to be his plan, is to get all these little groups together, not have them under an umbrella, some kind of directive, to have no one issuing orders from the top, but yet organize these groups in such a way they cooperate to enact, national change. I can see that happening, I guess, but again, that's a time-consuming process. Anyways, I'm glad that at least that he's dropped the idea of getting Bernie, because that's just not going to happen. Check.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just getting tired. It's about that time.
I wasn't sure if I was even being heard. Yeah, it's getting about to be that time, 2:14. James is wrapping it up, it looks like, the next few minutes.
I got a big day coming up tomorrow, so.
What you doing?
More issues with my father. All kinds of paperwork and stuff that has to be done.
That's always fun.
Yeah, old age doesn't come easy. That's one of my concerns with Bernie is, another 2 years, we're talking about quite a bit of aging on his body. And the mental decline can be very fast. Nancy Pelosi and Dianne Feinstein's are really good examples of that. Lately, when you hear them talking, they don't appear to be all there.
Well, they can just pull a Strom Thurmond, right? Put a stick in his back and some strings on him and march him out on the side.
No, I agree, and we've been doing that way too long. I mean, was Strom Thurmond the one that they brought in on a cart?
Yeah, I think so. They brought him in on like a stretcher or something,
so that he could raise his hand and to vote. And I just don't think that should happen.
No, it shouldn't. You should have mentally competent people running for office. Like we were talking about this when McCain had his thing. They dragged him out there, and it's just not good. I can't believe you did when we were discussing that. I think it was you that told me that there really is no provision for that.
No. I almost think that there should be an MRI for each one when they run for candidacy. Do you have anything that's going to prevent you from being able to carry out your office? And if a portion of the brain is turning into something else, to me that really, having seen it firsthand, we're talking to my wife, and we're having a couple of egg rolls, and the next day she tells me about when we had the egg rolls that she had to fight a cockroach for hers. He was a really big one, and she bit into the egg roll, and he was trying to pull back the other half.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, that's the same disease that McCain has.
Yeah, and as you were saying, it's hard to tell which way that's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like he could be physically paralyzed, or he could be, mentally deficient, and it's just impossible to tell until.
Yeah, with a normal diet, the tumor wave grows, doubles the number of cells every 10 to 18 days. So starting from one cell to being the size of your head is less than 400 days.
Wow. Yeah, we need to start applying some of our newfound medical technology to members of Congress.
Congress actually, there was a really good type of X-ray like test, and Congress actually has blocked its use.
I wonder why. It's beyond belief. I mean, what's the rationale behind that? Maintain power, I guess, is the rationale. But
well, a lot of people that have paid money for their technology to be the forefront would not be making contributions to their accounts.
It's ridiculous. And Pelosi, I mean, that's getting a bit absurd. She's too old. And as far as Bernie goes, I mean, that's a stressful position. He's how old is he now?
73.
I think Bernie's 79.
Yeah, he's 79 or 80. So we're looking at like 86 or something by the time he leaves office, if he were to get in there. 76.
He's younger than I thought.
He's still pretty spry. Like he's jumping around and all this. I've seen him. He seems to have good. One thing Sanders likes to do is he likes to kind of mess with people when he's standing next to him. I don't know if you notice that. Like he'll kind of jump at someone and kind of try to startle them or something. He's just fooling around. But he's like, he's pretty quick. So he seems to be in pretty good shape. I'm not too concerned with his health, but as you said, it's just at that age, it's impossible to tell, and things can come on quickly.
Yeah. Biden's only 2 years younger.
Joe, Gropey Joe. That dude's in love with everybody. He's completely inappropriate about it sometimes too. I remember one time I saw a picture of him. He had some biker's girlfriend sitting on his lap. Like he's got his arms around her. And like the biker is like looking at him. Like, what are you doing? It was a hilarious picture. People have accused Joe of being like all kinds of things because of that, like a womanizer. Like there was this little girl on stage and he comes up to her and he's being super affectionate with her, just like everyone else. And a couple days later on some of the crazier threads, Joe Biden's a pedophile. So he gets in trouble for that. I can't see Joe getting elected. Despite his record. They might try to run him, though. I mean, who knows? He's certainly been through a lot of stuff in his life. I think part of him just doesn't want to do it. Every time he's gone up there, he knows he doesn't really have a chance, it seems.
Well, I'm pretty sure they told him last time that he wasn't the chosen one.
Yeah, that's... And as far as Hillary running this next thing, I mean, I don't know, man.
She's running. She's out on tour right now.
Yeah, but that could be for any number of things. I don't know if it indicates just in and of itself a run.
Well, if she wanted Chelsea to run instead of her, it would be Chelsea and Hillary Clinton, not Bill and Hillary Clinton, or Hillary Clinton's speech. The tickets don't say anything about Chelsea, and if they were doing it to promote Chelsea's run, she would be on the marquee. I
don't think they're stupid enough to try to run Chelsea. maybe Hillary would want it, but
they have to have somebody in office that has power in order to keep their leverage up. It's pretty soon that leverage is going to start fading.
sure. I mean, Hillary. I'm sure some people could see Chelsea as a potential tool to enact whatever, what they want to put through.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, come on, like she's done nothing. Like you say, even Hillary knows you got to run for senator first.
Well, that's probably why they want to run her for congressman first.
Is that what? I mean, I haven't heard. Is there actually any kinds of plans on the board for Chelsea, or is it all?
She immediately moved to a district of somebody that's possibly going to be retiring.
Starting to work her way up the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be 2020. Like, well, who knows? Like, who's she running against?
I've got to see what it is. Fingers are busy right now. But yeah, somebody from New York should be able to tell us.
I didn't catch that end part. Sorry.
She's running it appears that she's preparing to run from New York. And it would probably be for the 2018 election.
Can you see the YouTube, Gordon?
What's that, dude?
Can you see the YouTube?
If I go to the other screen, hold up. I paused it. Hold up. Gotta go to the end of the
Taylor, can you hear us?
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, Taylor, where are you at, anyways?
He's he's at the Texas State Library doing homework or something. He just wants to hear our voices. I don't get it. What are you doing over there, Taylor?
Oh,
hello.
Biden and his.
I got it. Those are all of them.
Yep, there he is. There's the biker.
There's a little montage. There's a fucking montage, dude.
Look at the look that biker is giving him, dude.
The guy's like, "What the fuck?" Look at that little girl right there. Look at that little girl right there. Like, don't touch me. And fuck, he's such a fucking pedo. God, it's fucking bad.
Yep.
That's that guy. He's one of those guys that, like, when you're talking to somebody and they stand a little too close to you. He's that guy. You know what I'm talking about? You're like, dude, there's like a human rule of like space that you're supposed to give somebody, my personal space, and he's that guy that would just jump right into it. He's fucking just strange, man.
Yeah, he should have grown up in, I don't know, Spain or something, where the personal space thing is
non-existent.
Farther
like
in.
France, like people in France. Yeah. Like France. Oh, we just stand close to each other all the time. It's just what we do.
He just looks like he's going to make out with that biker chick, like, right then and there.
But look at the guy's face. You got to see the guy's face. Dude, that's the best part. Like,
get the fuck off of her.
Dude, you're lucky you're fucking vice president. I'd fucking kill you. Right?
It's like 10 Secret Service guys standing there ready to jump.
Yeah. He doesn't have a chance. So, Taylor. God damn it. All right. You guys got to shut down pretty soon. Sorry.
Okay.
All right, man.
Next time, get on here a little early. What the fuck? Did you not get the memo or what, Gordon?
Me? I've just been busy all weekend, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
okay.
I was out last night a bit, and then I came home, and then Jamarl ended up holding this stream till like 4 in the fucking morning. Like,
wow. Just
going on and on and on. And then I got some sleep, did some stuff today, and then I took a nap.
Good.
And then I did some domestic things. So,
it's
just been a busy week, dude. Been a busy week.
The Fly's been here, but he hasn't been here. So why did Amy leave? Did she storm off, or did we punch her in the mouth, or what happened?
She's off to donate to the Hillary camp.
Yep, she's gonna go sell her motorcycle and probably
Yeah, off to knock off another 7-Eleven.
Yeah, to give to her super PAC.
It's disgusting.
I know.
We should ban her from the chat, dude.
I think we
don't
should.
need that nonsense.
I think I would, because we don't need any hillbots like that on this fucking thing.
We don't need any thieves and murderers, man. She's willing to do whatever it takes, and I'm tired of hearing about it.
Well, she's a lawyer, so there you go.
All right, you guys.
Par for the course. Later, bro.
Have a good one.
Okay, I'm just gonna say goodbye. I gotta boot. Thanks, bye, Snark. I'm booting. Bye, Fly. I want to boot you. I'm gonna do my little end rant. Okay, here we go. Withdraw co-host. And sorry, buddy. Taylor, you can't hear me. Bye, Fly. I gotta go. Taylor, man, you're an interesting character, but you're good to have on here. Are you there, or what's going on? Taylor. What the fuck is that guy's name? Bueller. Tay, I gotta knock you, bro. I'm leaving. Thanks for coming on. I'm sorry. Aloha. Oh shit. Later, bro. Okay, so that's it. All right, sorry guys. I got things I gotta do, but back to what we started with. So Amy, the lawyer, comes on, and she's this is like fucking super scruffy look. Anyway, she trusts us. I don't know if she trusts other people, and even though we play around and have our little issues and stuff like that, maybe it is like therapy for her to come on here and spend some time with us, kind of hear our perspective from the commoners, and if she is, making close to six figures, as any attorney should. But she's on, and we appreciate that. And everybody else that comes on. Sorry, Dom. I don't, it's turned into the Amy show again. Which is fine. We didn't really have much to talk about, just a few things, like just the trust that we've lost with some big political players out there. And then rebuilding trust, at a relationship level with somebody that you're with, that you love or care about. That's depends on how much water under the bridge or sewage is under the bridge. But if there's just a little stream, then sometimes you can fix it, And but in regards to our government, the trust factor is just terrible. I don't trust them. They shouldn't trust me. Because I don't have any faith in them anymore. I don't have faith in our so-called political leaders any longer. I think once they get to a certain level, even at the city, county, and state levels, a lot of them they turn sour quick. And some of them, have been shown that vault. The vault at the DNC, the vault at the RNC, or, the Dumbocrat vault and the Republican vault. Oh, it's big. It's endless amounts of money. So for you not to jump in that gigantic cesspool of dollar bills, probably not dollar bills, they're like probably fucking Thomas Jefferson's. Which one is C note? Is a Is that a Benjamin Franklin? Anyway, there's just a lot of untrustworthy people out there that are in very high positions. And we need to clean house. It's either they're going to keep cleaning our house and destroy. Actually, they're not. They're destroying our houses. They're wrecking our houses. I don't think they care about what's going on with us. I think to them we're all cannon fodder. You know, I do believe that they truly think that most of us are expendable. You know, as Schumer said a while back, we'll lose some of our base to gain some centrist, you know, Democrats, some blue dog Democrats out there that exist, and that's just sad. But SNL took a whack at the DNC for the first time in a long time, and if you just watch it, it's not as harsh as they've been on, of course, you know, everything Trump, because Trump's just a fucking open book and probably the easiest comedic target on the planet right now. I mean, God, he doesn't even realize. He probably knows it. He just doesn't care. It's still, they're saying his name. It's still publicity. He understands the marketing aspect of it. Whether it's negative, stupid, moronic, lame, he gets it. You know, once you're out there, like Amy says, it's all about, you continually put that name out there, then all of a sudden you start to trust it. You start to feel comfortable with it. But I'm not. And I know a lot of people that come on this show are not. We have a lot of fixing to do. You know, my core reason why I have this is, God damn it, save this fucking planet, man. Save her. Make her well again. Get her back in shape. You know, get her to do what she needs to do to keep all of us, you know, hopefully as healthy and as safe as possible. There is no plan B for a long time. You know, she's gonna, you know, we have to do this to help save the inhabitants on this planet. Yeah, it is a very broad stroke, and that is a giant task, but it can be done. You know, if we start doing in baby steps, you know, just the right things. I'm not big on a revolution. I will definitely say that if something physical happened in a revolution, or if that started to do it, Antifa decided they wanted to start recruiting people for a fucking militia or something crazy, and the right wanted to do something, and the left, and the next thing you know, we've got some kind of crazy ass stupid revolution. Oh, they would love that. They would adore that. That's exactly what they are trying to get us to do. They want us to have conflict between each other so they can distract us, like that little light pen, that laser light pen that you have a little kitten chase around. You know, we're all a bunch of little kittens chase around this light pen while, you know, these fat cats and 1%ers and corporations and banks are just running everything. And it's pretty bad. It's pretty obvious. You know, trust is important. Trust needs to be rekindled. We need to find a way to bring trust back into the conversation. You know, and it starts with honesty. It starts with, you know, being upfront. It starts with transparency. It starts with, you know, being accountable for your actions. It's, you know, don't be a martyr. You know, do not be. I fucking hate that. You got to tell me what's going on. Just tell me what's going on. You know, if you can just let me know what's up, I can, then, you know, then we can do the right things. Then you can make better decisions. You know, if you don't have all the facts on the table, the decisions that you'll make won't help anything. Anyway, so you gotta have faith. You know, have faith in each other though, because I think a lot of people will start to come around pretty soon once they start to realize that we gotta have people in office that do the right things, and if we don't get a third party that's viable and strong enough to at least make these two fuckers pay attention, we're screwed. All right, I'm going to turn this thing off. I want to say aloha to everybody. Mahalo nui aloha. Have a good night. This is longer than I thought it was going to be, but, you know, Garden came on a little late. Didn't get a chance to give Amy my therapy bill, but I'll send it to her in the mail. Aloha, guys, and